Hey guys, it is the 24th of August, the end of summer. Well, yeah, I mean, the weather over here is getting pretty cool, at least, so I'll start calling it the end of summer. But it is episode 125. We are in our second to last review set for summer 2019 anime season. So, with that being said, I am your host, Spire, as always, and here are my compatriots, my fellow men at arms. Near, how have you been doing these past 3 weeks? I know we took a little bit of a delay here just to get things set up properly.
I'm alright, comrade.
just adding to those partner points, right? it's
Yeah.
it's like it's like motivation shit. Anyways, how have you been doing these past 2 weeks?
Um,
3 weeks rather. Sorry.
yeah, I'm alright.
Pretty.
Busy, uh, watching stuff, just keeping up with the usual.
Yeah.
I caught up with, Lord El-Melloi the second case files.
And you'll be telling us a little bit more about that
Rail Zeppelin.
later. Really?
Hello.
Shut up, dude.
You forgot the next part of the title.
Wait, that reminds me, what's the full title for Heaven's Feel part right here?
Part 3 is, what is it, Spring Flower? Something like
Yeah.
that?
It's like you have to like
It's Spring's song.
Okay.
You
have to
near. You in? You in? You gonna watch it with me? You in?
I'm probably going to watch it, yes.
Yeah.
All
You have
right.
to. By the way, you have to pronounce all like the punctuation and the colons and the periods in the title.
Yeah,
Just say. Good luck, friend.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you watched the spin-off, the Fate spin-off, I believe.
It's not a spin-off. It's canon.
It's just canon.
Sorry.
Continuation of the main
I
timeline.
apologize.
Yeah,
It is the
near.
main timeline. Yes.
Yeah.
And,
It's fun. It's fun seeing all these Fate characters that are in alternate timelines be like, haha, I'm in the main timeline now. And I'm not
I am the main
dead.
timeline now. Yeah.
It's cool.
Really?
Isn't
Okay.
Fate Extra at the end of the timeline?
I mean, it's so far the
Wait,
furthest
who's
along,
been in it
yes.
that's not dead?
Huh?
What?
Other than
All servants are dead.
Shishigo.
Yeah.
So, that was supposed to take place, like, well, because I interpreted it as, like, what's it called? That Apocrypha just happens after that in Apocrypha's timeline.
Apocrypha is not part of the main timeline.
No, Apocrypha is not canon.
Oh, so this is, so everything before, all right.
Adolf Hitler is not in the mainstream Fate Grail Wars.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways,
But
Those were my...
don't worry, Dark, because the Throne of Heroes transcends time and space. All servants are canon.
no,
Yeah,
shake it
yeah.
So
out.
that
Okay,
means
keep going.
Astolfo Rider is real.
Please keep
as
going.
long as you believe. Other
The
than that,
only one that's not part of time and space is Saber, but she's a special case, so don't worry about it.
I've been playing Shadowverse still, and that's kind of it, really.
Huh?
Did you win?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you win all?
Not
the things?
really.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had a really, really bad time. I got like 21 losses just trying to do my dailies, so that was cool, fun. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay. And of course, we have our two others here, just as important. Dark. What have you been doing these past 3 weeks here?
I have been catching up on stuff. I've also been watching Malloy. Started watching a bunch of things. What is the abbreviation of the show? I keep forgetting its name. Toast, the daughter.
Uchi Musume.
Yeah,
Uchi
Uchi
Musume,
Musume.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I started watching that. That's really good. And other than that, playing Remnant.
Okay.
That game's fun. It's Dark Souls. And started a keto diet. That's not fun.
Explain.
I had a keto
what
phase
you eating?
before,
What
and
you
I was like,
eating?
nah, I'm not allowed to.
I eat meat and cheese.
Essentially, you just
and
have to keep
vegetables.
between 5% carb. All right, that's pretty much the only rule there.
So you can't eat rice.
Yeah, well, I'm doing a little bit like more extreme. I have
Don't you
like
have to have like
10 to 15
yeah.
carbs a day.
Uh,
So I'm keeping it pretty low, you might say.
doesn't that mean you literally like? I mean, even like
Pretty
some
much
stuff
all of
like
my carbs come from my pre-workout and my protein powder.
yeah. I mean,
So-
even
so-
with the protein powder, you have to be a little bit careful.
So
Sometimes.
you don't eat
Yeah.
rice?
Yeah, well, because my protein powder has 3 grams in a serving,
Yeah.
and I only have 1 serving a day of that. And then the rest
And then
of
the
my
rest is just like meat and like avocados or something.
yeah, no, not really avocado. I haven't been doing too many avocado. A lot of it is just if it's in meat or if it's in like a sauce or something I'm putting on like chicken.
Yeah.
Like a sauce I might put on chicken has like 1 gram.
Yeah.
Or when I cheat, quote unquote, I'm eating a cauliflower pizza crust pizza that has like 10. That'll have like 10 carbs total in the
Yeah.
entire thing. So
That sounds really depressing.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
great.
it's not great, but it's not that bad. Honestly, the easiest part is eating. The hardest part is like keeping your energy up.
Yeah, that is
Like
definitely
the diet, like the actual like food part of the diet ain't too bad.
yeah, I think if you have enough choices, it's definitely not too bad. That's similar to again when I had my keto phase. It was kind of like, oh man, I wish I could eat something a little bit something before exercise, but kind of gets at you sometimes. But oh well.
Yeah.
But anyways, good to see you're trying something out new. Always pretty good, and keto is always definitely interesting. I kind of returned to something else, but I think keto is at least very fun, or not like like interesting to go through. Is how I want to
Yeah,
put it. Yeah.
I'm more
Sure.
easily able to diet like with more extreme diets. So
Yeah. Again, whatever
like
whatever
something
works
that'll
for
actually
you,
force me.
decently healthy way.
So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I also
Okay.
take 15 pills a day. So
All
that's
the
fun too.
supplements.
Yeah, I forgot about
Okay.
that part.
Anyways, good stuff, and you'll be talking to us a little bit about a certain series later.
Scientific series.
A certain science.
Very very hard sciences going
Yeah,
on.
very
Here,
hard.
Let me tell you.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's my series.
You'll
can't
learn
take
all
it from
about
me.
your vectors, kids.
Yeah. Anyways, and last but definitely not, or no, well, I haven't gone yet, but out of the 3 goons here, the last but definitely not least, Toast.
Who's the fourth? Who's the fourth then?
I wonder.
There's 4 of
I
us.
wonder.
And there's 3 goons. What does that mean?
I mean, I'm also part of the goon squad too. I'm just saying, in front of me, there are 3 people. Is what I'm imagining. If there was a figure.
But there's 4. Don't you mean in front of the 4 people?
No,
What?
then
No.
What? What do you mean?
If I'm
Yeah,
I'm
there's
looking at
7
people,
people
there-
here.
If there's 4 people here, then how could there be 4 people in front of somebody?
There's 8 people here.
If I'm looking at you guys, there are only 3 people in front of me. Toast.
And
If
where's
there
the
were 4
then
people,
where's
I
the
would be
then
all
where's the fourth?
alongside you guys.
Who's the?
What-
There's 4 of us. Where's the 4th? Who you
What the
missing?
fuck are you talking about?
There's 4 of us. Where's the 4th?
There's
Very
4 of
good
us here.
question.
Who's the 4th one?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, it's a mystery, Toast. Anyways, keep going. What were you doing these past 3 weeks?
3 weeks. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
3
remember
yes.
we took a little bit of a break.
Are we done checking our calendars? What's going on here?
What day is it today?
It is the 24th of August, Toast.
So what have I been doing since? I don't know.
You're like it's suddenly become like an M Night Shyamalan movie where it's like we're like I don't
If there's
really
4 people here,
Gonna
who am
sleep
I?
for fucking 8 weeks, apparently.
what the fuck is Toast even like going through at this point? But so nothing interesting for 3 weeks. You just forgot about everything. What's going on here?
I'm trying to remember what I watched in 3 weeks.
Okay.
I watched Unlimited Blade Works. Does that count?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Sure.
And I marathoned what's that one show with the girl?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, the one with the end.
Alicization? Yeah.
You
Oh
watch
God, that's what you were
Alicization?
going with?
Why?
Why? Yeah. Just
Because I rewatched Ordinal Scale and I was like, all right, I might as well finish.
Why?
I finished
Just
off
why?
Alicization because you got to be ready for War of the Underworld in October near. Are you
Do
saying
I?
you're not ready? Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not ready.
You guys know what happens to Kirito at the end of Part 1 Alicization, right? It's your
Does he die?
favorite. Almost. It's your favorite. It's your favorite thing. Do you want to know?
He gets trapped into an isekai again for the 30th time.
Do you want to know? Do you care about spoilers?
I don't give a shit, bro.
I don't think you should spoil it.
But you don't you want to hear about it?
And maybe there's someone out there who cares about spoilers for Sword Art, you know? Big fans of Sword
I
Art.
don't. Let's not get into Sword Art too much. But anything else that you watched other than Alicization and EBW? It's fine if you didn't. I'm just asking.
No, I'm trying to remember. I watched that one Netflix thing. What's it called? Get into anime? Is that what it's called?
Get into anime.
I wouldn't be surprised
Like
if
a
that was
gun
a
to your
Netflix series, to
head.
be honest.
Get
though.
into anime.
Oh,
To
no,
be
it's called Enter the Anime.
Okay.
It's apparently
I'm not sure.
anime is not for children. It's dark, gritty, and for adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only Tokyo cool.
Haven't you seen Jewel Pet?
Haven't you not? Haven't you not seen?
Have you not seen Aikatsu?
Have you not seen Agretzko and Castlevania?
Oh my god.
I'm like, okay, and Devilman Crybaby. Those fall under Netflix. It's spoilers. I only talk about Netflix anime.
What a shock.
But
And
yeah,
I
anyway.
watched some other things. I watched that what is it? That one anime with the girl with 1428 men. What's it called?
Well, what?
Oh, that's not an anime. That's a hentai. Never mind.
Okay.
The fuck? Okay, sure.
I was recommended to me by my my SoundCloud, so I'm like, all right, I'll check it out.
Okay.
Someone who watches Sao recommended it to you.
And I was like, this is pretty neat.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
And
Anyway,
some
so what
other
was
things.
your week, Spire?
Yeah, Spire, what'd you do? What's your
Yeah,
what's
so,
your event? What's your eventful trifecta? That's the word, right? For 3 weeks.
Trifecta? I don't think that's
Not quite, but
I don't want to
That's
say
not
four.
even-
What's the what's
Fortnite is 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you're-
for 3 weeks.
how's Fortnite been?
What I'm
the past 3 weeks?
afraid of?
what's the word for 1 week more than Fortnite? I didn't want to say Fortnite.
The thing I'm afraid that Toast would have said was like I thought he was gonna say like trimester for a second or some shit. Like,
No,
like,
that's
it's gonna go
that's
pregnancy talk.
that's
Like,
for pregnant women. Who do you think I am?
but anyways, I'm glad Toast didn't do that. But these past 3 weeks have been kind of busy. I've been doing kind of getting my backbone up by the schedule where
What'd you
well,
do
it's
to your
ending.
back?
What?
What'd you do?
all the things. But it's been like I've been waking up at like 5:30 ish, and then doing stuff except for like 1 or 1.5 hour at in the evening, and then until midnight ish. So it's been a pretty interesting grind there. But it's been I've been managed to get anime watching a little bit here and there and Given, and then I watched a little bit of Kemono Tachi, and then some of the I wanted to watch a little bit of Okasuki, which is the Okasan, the anime, the mother mother anime, and that shit is like going through some Inception thing where it's like so this is how deep the rabbit hole goes. Okay,
You saying you don't like your mom's Spire?
no, wait, give me a second here. So the illustrator behind that novel, right? has her own virtual YouTuber channel. So
Is she
her
good at it?
Good at virtual. I mean, she has followers.
Is she
so,
better
yeah.
than shit? Is she? What level
I don't
is
know
she
what
on?
you mean by be good at virtual YouTubing.
Is she a Kizuna Ai? Is she a Kaguya
No,
Luna?
she's not that popular.
Or is she more like a Denpa Shoujo? Is that Shiro? Yeah, that's Shiro.
No, she just draws and shit. But the thing is, it's like she has like her own like episode, like her YouTube like streams where she like does review sessions of how the episode is. But she's the one that's like drawn it, and then afterwards, like what was it? And then she released a video of herself singing the opening to the anime that she drew. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, what's going on right now? What's happening? How deep
Actual
are we in?
lunatic.
It's the ultimate like
Yeah.
was it like vertical integration for
Yeah, I know. It's like you're like feeding it back to yourself like some Ouroboros shit. Like, like I'm going to create this manga so it can become adapted to the anime, so I can sing it as a virtual YouTuber avatar. Like, think about
Yeah,
this.
I'm making this entire manga to get made into an anime to promote my virtual YouTuber channel.
Yeah, so I can sing the opening for that anime.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm just like,
maybe she wants to do her Onesan manga / dojin, the one with the one with the demon feet.
yeah,
I mean,
the demon sister or whatever. Yeah,
yeah. When's that? I'm waiting on that.
that'd be pretty good. A lot. But anyways, so that was one of the weirder things I experienced these past couple of weeks. That again, it's been pretty on the down low. I really, really fucking. There have been some pretty good rumblings on the visual novel front. Stuff getting a lot of stuff getting translation patches, a lot of getting stuff, projects being announced and stuff like that, and over in Japan, like sequels for stuff is coming out. Like Nikitashi is sequel is coming out. Amakano, the winter sort of like
How many anime have Kano in the title? It's starting to get confused. Wait,
because Kano is like the fucking begin. It's the starting kanji for Kanojo, right? So it's an easy thing to sort of use, right?
Amakano episode 1 is sub English X anime porn. Spire, what are you talking about? I just googled that and I got this.
It's a visual novel. It probably did get adapted into hentai somewhere along the line. But the second, I believe, Amakon 2 is announced to be coming out, so that's good. And I downloaded the new Kohime Muso one, which more people need to play the original version of, which was translated, and that'd be nice. But either way, it's been pretty quiet, except that I've been kind of excited at a lot of the news. Also, I've been watching a little bit of the international Dota thingy mabobber. So
yeah. Did you win?
Yuck.
Wow, nerd.
It hasn't finished yet. But
Oh.
anyways, pretty uneventful week except for me kind of like watching stuff and being excited over stuff. So so that's pretty much that. And with that, we'll move on quickly to our series here. And the first off the list is Toast. What have you got for us
already?
this week? Yes, already.
Crap, what's that one thing? You remember the well, you made me forget my analogy. Why am I going first?
Yeah, you need all the time just to fucking make your analogy.
Is this why you want to go? Like...
you remember that one part? You remember that one episode of JoJo where where Joseph's fighting ultimate cars and he runs away onto a plane? And then he's all like, "Goodbye, losers! I'm gonna get on this plane and fly away." And then Cars chases him with like piranhas and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he eats at the wiring and he crash lands on that volcano island.
Yes.
That's kind of what the show is about, except I don't think there was ultimate Cars taking down their plane.
I think half of that analogy was completely wrong, but sure, keep going.
Well, then, you name fine. What about that one opening of Seito Kai Yakuin Domo where
the 9/11 opening?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the 9/11 opening?
Yes.
I think pretty much 100% of that analogy.
I'm trying to think of other plane crash landing anime.
Like, at
Lost?
some point, you're just gonna start like posting ISIS
Lost is
propaganda
not an
videos at this
anime.
point, I think.
I'd say
Yeah, but
yeah. So what am I
what
getting
about
at?
the the Eurocamp special?
I didn't watch
They get
Eurocamp.
lost on an island.
The only thing I know about Eurocamp is that one doujin where it has a naked snake as their dad.
Nice.
Yeah, anyways, keep going.
What?
So your series
Oh
title
yeah.
is?
I watched. Where is it? There it is. Sounan desu ka, which in Japanese means was it?
No,
I think it
that's,
says that so in Japanese, but the
yeah,
translated
is that
title
so
is
in Japanese transliteration, and the translation is, or sorry, and the localization title is "Are You Lost?" Again, as Stark said.
Oh, so like it's like Lost the anime, except not.
yeah.
Oh, so you were right. All right.
Except the kids don't get eaten, I guess. Except that one doesn't eat them all.
I don't know if that happened in Lost, dude.
How did he
No,
stay?
that was just a joke. The fat one
How
eats
did
them
he
all.
stay so fat on a deserted island?
That was kind of what everyone wanted to know during that show, to be honest.
Yeah, but anyways, keep going, Toast.
So about this show, it's about this one girl, and three other girls who are on a plane, and then they get crashed on a deserted island, and then they got to survive on it. But
Okay.
don't worry. It just so happens that one of them, the twin-tailed girl, don't worry. She's been in like 12 other accidents before, so she's a survival expert. You remember that one show on Spike that was called "Can You Survive This" or something?
So is it like do they is like the trivia from scratch, like, oh, this is like you have to take like the grass and like the blah blah, and you make like a hammock and shit like that, or is it like do they take some stuff from like whatever crash materials they had?
Yes,
What does yes mean?
They're
I
both.
gave you two options.
that's both.
Okay, so they take stuff
She's
from
so
some-
yeah. So it turns
Playing.
out Homer's dad is a former ex-soldier, like PMC mercenary dude. So don't worry. He's drilled in her survival techniques all the way from walking through the Sahara to climbing Mount Everest. So she's trained in all sorts of survival situations.
Mhm.
So the entire series is about these three bimbos relying on her to do stuff. And it's like, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
First episode's pretty starts with a banger.
Okay.
You remember that one episode of with Bear Grylls where he said lie back and think of England because he was running out of water, and like the most, what was it?
No.
The one where he gave himself an enema because that was the best way to replenish his rehydration or whatever because he was dehydrated.
No.
I don't watch Bear Grylls, so
But you
No.
don't know that one where he gave himself an enema? No.
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 So the first episode's kind of like that, but instead the long-haired girl who's always wearing her sweater. What's her name? What's her name? Oh, Shion. She's kind of the Gyaru of the group. She's all like, "Oh, I'm dying of dehydration," and so Homer is like, "All right, lie back and think of Japan." And
Okay.
then she pees on her, and she's all like, "Don't look." And they're all like, "What are you doing?"
And she's like, "Wow, that sure rehydrated me."
And she's like, "What are you doing?" And she's all like, "She said she was dying, so pee's sterile when it comes out, right?" Even they're all like, "No."
You know, that's actually not true,
it's
by
not.
the way.
Pee is mostly like 90% waste product. Don't believe it.
It's no, but I mean, it's not sterile because it's only sterile if you're like considering it inside you. The second it touches your urethra, it's not sterile anymore.
But in a
Also, it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not that healthy to
well,
consume
in a life or
content.
death situation, what can you do?
Yeah,
Just
what's
like-
a girl to do, Spire?
Just like that one episode of
Yeah, like how can you? What's even boiling water, friends? Come on now.
can you boil water when you're on a shipwreck, Spire? You're stranded in the middle of the ocean on like a plane wing. Where's your fire coming from? But yeah, it's like that one episode where Bear Grylls was stranded in the desert and he found like a snake skin and he's all like, "Oh, I'm dehydrated." So he peed in the snake skin and he was all like, "Let's taste this." And like, "Oh, it's delicious." And then he saves the snake skin of his pee for later. So that was a good episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think. I think if you're stranded in the middle of the ocean, unless it's like raining, I'm pretty sure you're just like fucked for the most part.
Don't worry, Spire. Homer was like, "I think we're near land." Then they talks about stuff about like the hemisphere and your eyesight and whatnot.
the
And
whole dang thing, huh?
I don't know, but yeah, because one of them has glasses. She's a nerd, so she was talking about like latitude and longitude, and I'm like, wow, what a nerd.
Yeah, what a dweeb.
And then
Fucking,
then you got this sporty girl named Mutsu who's only good at being sporty and stuff. It's like, all right. So you got the group of the survivalist, the nerd, the jock, and the Gyaru, but she's also kind of good at collecting things. So I guess she's the scavenger. So we got a decent ragtag group of survivors in this. And this show is basically about them doing survivalist stuff on a stranded island. Like, hey, you see those. Doc, we talked about this earlier. Like, you remember that one time in Vegas where there was all these grasshoppers, like infesting it?
yeah, it was a couple months ago.
So Homer is all like, she's doing some things, and then she randomly catches a grasshopper and eats it. And they're all like, "What did you just eat?" And it's never brought up until near the end of the episode where the smart girl's all like, "Oh, I'm also dehydrating, but I don't want you to pee on me." So Homer's like, "All right." Then she kisses her, and she's all like, "It's a life or death situation. My saliva will help." But then,
No.
what?
What?
Then Mutsu pulls out a bug leg from her mouth, and she's all like, "What the heck is this?"
So is there?
And then
is there-
and then Homer is all like, "Oh, that's just the migratory locust I ate earlier in the episode." And they're like, "What?"
So this is pretty much like 99% trivia, right? There's no like
Yeah.
character do.
Not really. Spire, there's barely any character development on a stranded island. What are you gonna do?
Well,
Yeah,
well,
where are you
I mean,
gonna
there-
What are
find
you
it?
gonna do? Go through hardships or something? Like
I mean, I'm
That's
pretty sure there have been some
That's not
series
character
that have
development. That's
tried
environmental development. Nature versus nurture.
PVE development.
what are you talking about?
There was one part in the episode where they're being chased by a tiger shark, and Homer is all like, "All right, I got this." Then she throws her phone at the shark, and because of the weird organ in the shark's nose, they're attracted to electricity. So she electrocutes the shark with the phone's electricity. That was cool.
Mm,
Okay.
Sharks are like
That's not-
really into Android.
Anyways,
So yeah.
would you,
So what's the show about? It's mostly Bear Grylls, but with a hint of
Degeneracy.
I think there might be there's a lot of Yuri in here for some
You think?
reason.
okay.
It's because they're all like, "Let me pee in your mouth to survive" and whatnot. It's kind of like that. And there was that
Okay.
one.
Just survival, dude.
Yeah,
It's not
I-
Yuri.
don't worry.
I don't know if it's
Life or
Yuri,
death.
someone says
It
is
doesn't
just, like,
doesn't count.
We just want to.
It doesn't count
just
because
wanna
there was a
have, like,
migratory locust in her mouth.
Okay. Anyways, any last words on the series, Toast?
Oh, that's about it. This show's mostly about survivalist stuff with cute girls, I guess. It's good. I like it. My favorite part is when they do where the three of them are all like, "What are you doing?" And Homer is like, "You got to do what you got to do to survive." It's kind of like that feeling when at the beginning of Full Metal Panic when those three weirdos send Sosuke off to high school because he's only been like a guerrilla mercenary his entire life.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right? How Sosuke is kind of ill ill adjusted to high school life.
Not.
You guys have never seen Full Metal Panic?
I have.
You don't remember that part where Sosuke demands a plain roll and he like shoots everyone with a gun?
Sure, yeah.
Oh,
What
that's
are you getting at?
it's kind of like that. Homer is always
Okay.
Homer is you got Homer is always serious because she's been in this situation before. So it's
Mhm.
mostly about the other three girls trying to adapt to the survival situation as well because they suck.
I mean, it's the whole setup with the one person as the usual sort of expert, right, or the otaku or whatever, right? But this time it's just survival stuff. But
I'm just thinking, what would happen if they meet up with the weirdos on Bug Island? Who would win
Okay.
in a fight? Bug
Probably the
Bug
bugs.
Girl or Homer? I don't know, man.
so
Homer
you
Homer is basically like mini Snake at this point. Snakette. No, Lady
so
Snake.
would you recommend this to people
Yes.
who are used to watching the usual like four girls trivia series?
It's like Euro Camp, but Island Camp.
But I like it. Okay. Well, I guess that's good enough.
If you like survivalist stuff or Euro Camp for some reason, yeah, this is fine. It's not
For
Okay.
some reason.
it's not overly oppressive in nature. It's not oppressive. It's not. That's not the right word. It's
It's oppressing me.
it it doesn't step on anyone's toes. It does its own thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty slice of life. I guess it's slice of life. They're not like fighting a giant bug monster or anything.
Yeah, I mean they're not like going through like it's not like every episode they're going through like a forest trying to find some shit or anything.
Well, they are. Every episode is them doing survival stuff. Like we're gonna
I
do
mean,
this today.
you know what I mean? Like they're trying to find like some sort of like
Yeah.
objective, like some hidden like treasure.
the
in a temple
the
or something like
objective is just to survive until they're saved. That's it.
Wow. I
It's
love
a-
Halo Reach.
It's
Yeah, objective. Survive.
it's more about the journey, not the ending.
that. Okay.
This
so
makes me want to
pretty-
watch that Bear Grylls. What's it called? The new Bear Grylls on Netflix, or like it's the one where you choose your survival. You versus
Wow.
Wild. That's
Yeah,
probably
you
it.
versus Wild, some shit.
If you like this,
Thank-
watch that. You can make Bear Grylls eat bear poo.
I always with these like series, I always get reminded of Survivor Man with Les Stroud. But,
Oh
that's
man,
just-
that show was depressing.
that show was like it kind of always ended up being like it was weird because it always ended up being like I'll catch some freaking snail and it tastes like chicken. Time to make a fire, and then it's like the same things repeating over and over again. And sometimes it'll be like, oh, from my camera kit, I found some nitroglycerin which I can use to make a fire. I'm like, who are you? Like, what are you even trying to prove here? You're like, why are you getting nitroglycerin? Like, what? What's going on right
Bear
now?
Grylls found nitroglycerin. He found a barrel of gunpowder in an abandoned cave, and he used it to blow open a door.
That
was cool.
Survival tips, by the way.
Yeah. Anyways,
But yes,
I
the Survival Man was kind of depressing because as the more you watched it, you could see him descending into chaos.
yeah.
And that's like the reason why he doesn't do it anymore, because it's really
Yeah.
it's really he's losing his sanity points over there.
Yeah.
Because it's better to survive in a group than alone.
Yeah.
Remember what happened with why do you think we have Wilson? Tom Hanks had Wilson, otherwise he'd go insane.
Yeah.
I think he had Wilson because he went insane.
Exactly.
Anyways,
But yeah, it's good. Watch it, you losers. I know some of you like those peeing fetishes. We got a bunch of that.
all right. With that being said,
Spire.
Yeah. What is it? Toast. What is it? Toast.
Which is more degenerate, feet or pee?
What?
That's a man.
It's a question for the ages, really.
Yeah.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can answer that without angry happy to this. So I'm gonna pass on that.
All right. Yeah, watch the show. It's good, losers.
Yes. Thank you, Toast. And with that, we will finally move on to Dark. What have you got for us today?
I have a little show called A Certain Scientific Accelerator.
Who's the
You might have heard of
accelerator?
it. Accelerator.
Why is his name
Funnily
accelerator?
Because he accelerates things. But you know what?
He just
It's
has
really
his foot on the
crazy.
accelerator all the time.
Sometimes he decelerates things.
Yeah.
So,
Except
so,
it's-
so
except it's
he's
the opposite
like
direction.
the Flash then. He
No.
controls kinetic energy, or what is it?
He controls vectors, which let's get into Accelerator's power really quick. By the way, this is a spin-off for the series Index. And this one's good.
I think half. I think by this time, like half the audience is like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna learn vector algebra." It's like half the reason why anime kids learn vector algebra was just because they wanted to be accelerator. It's like,
I was thinking about, I'm like, vectors.
what
So,
are
so it's like what's it called?
The way they say it in the show is they're like, oh, so you can control heat, electricity, and speed and velocity. And it's actually not that at all. His power is even more fucking absurd than that.
So
What
he's
he can do is the way they described his power based on vectors at one point is consider the idea of movement, right? Something's going from one place to another. He can control that. So he can control like file transfers, just anything that is thought of as moving from one place to another is what he can control.
yeah.
so he's like
It's-
that one guy from what's the name? The World Ends With You, the Sokotoa guy.
I guess. Never played that.
Me neither. Near, who's the Sokotoa guy?
It's been like 10 years since I played The World Ends With You.
Yeah, but you have played it, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Why does he say sine, cosine, tangent?
I don't remember.
Yeah, what's that all about?
All right, can we keep moving?
Spire, have you not played Sokotoa or not Sokotoa? The World Ends With You.
No.
The guy that says so Zeta slow.
Yeah, that guy. Don't you know him, Spire?
From the game I didn't play. No.
Yeah,
I
don't you know? You should know.
All right,
Don't
can we?
Don't you know Zeta is a metric measurement meaning 1 sextillion? That means you're 1 sextillion slower than him.
Oh.
And
No.
PEMDAS, Spire? Don't you know
Yeah,
your mathematics?
PEMDAS, dude. You
Yeah.
don't remember PEMDAS?
Yeah.
What's
No,
wrong with
I
you?
do not remember these characters from the game I did not play. I apologize.
Jesus Christ, this man.
Anyways, Dark, keep going.
Anyway, yeah, so I'm been watching that. I'll start off by saying it's real good. The basic premise is I forget when this takes place. I think it considers what's it called as not happening. As it should. Index season, I think it's supposed to take place before Index season 3 or maybe after, but it doesn't consider New Testament at all as far as I remember.
Yeah, well, it's not that it doesn't. It's like it's I don't think they ever really explain how the timeline is, but it's like
Yeah.
placed very conveniently in a place where it's like
Yeah, it's like
before
basically pretend
Yeah.
that it's its own
before all the
timeline. Why
shit
not?
happens.
Like
Before all the shit happens.
yeah, none of the bullshit
Then
happens.
literally, yeah.
Because this series has like is ongoing and has like fucking 10 volumes now, I think.
yeah.
And it's like you okay, guess you're not gonna get into New Testament, sure.
Was it new?
But yeah, so-
is New Testament the little girl clone?
No, New Testament is like after Index season 3 essentially, like that time, like New Testament is when they start getting into like weird god shit with like Thor and stuff, and Thor's like a weird trap.
Yeah,
Anyway.
skater, blah, blah, yeah.
Yeah, he fucking skates on electricity.
What's the
Let's-
name of
let's not talk
Thor's?
about-
What's the name of Thor's son? Magni? Is it Magni? And
I don't know.
Don't
I-
worry, don't worry.
I'm
It's
not
fine.
sure.
I get you because Magni was a girl in Prisma Ilia.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Either way, keep going, Dark.
But yeah, so
Which one was the book?
The premise is which one was the book?
You
There
were
was a
talking about-
character that's a book.
Yeah, there's a book girl, and I'm like,
Oh no, Index has like the fucking like all the knowledge in the world
No,
in
no,
her
I
brain
mean,
or whatever.
wasn't there a character in like this?
There's a character that turns into a cylinder.
Yeah, that's
in
probably
New
the one I'm
Testament.
thinking about.
That's really all you need to know about
Marion
New.
Slingemeyer or whatever.
Yeah, that's what you need to know about New Testament. There's a character that's just like a fucking metal tube. Like
Why
that's
are
I
we
think her
talking
power.
So much about discussion.
Turns into a metal tube.
Oh my god.
Anyway, fuck New Testament. We're done with New Testament. So
Cool.
I hate it. So Accelerator.
Is the best.
Shut
Go
up.
ahead.
Yeah, she's got so many figures. So Accelerator is basically in its own like timeline thing. It takes place after spoilers for Index season 1. By the way,
For those of you who have watched,
yeah. By the
yeah,
way,
yeah.
for those of you who haven't watched Index season 1 but know what Last Order is, but also like haven't seen Index season 2, Accelerator has brain damage now.
Why?
Because when
What'd you do
he
to
was
him?
saving the essentially center of the clone network of Misaka Makoto,
Also known
like
as
her
Last Order.
clones. Yeah, the center of it was Last Order, which is the like lolly that I
Yeah, the
think
lolly
is
isekai.
supposed. Yeah, I think she's supposed to be like the perfected clone because she ages properly and everything, or like her age process isn't accelerated like the others.
Yeah.
And so, she was like the center of all like 20,000 clones, 10,031 of which Accelerator has already killed.
Mm-hmm.
So in Index Season 1, Toma fucking punches him in the face, and all the scientists are like, well, that goes against our data. Guess we have to throw away the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And so they throw away the whole project. He finds Last Order. He's like, well, I hate these people anyway. May as well save her. Takes a bullet to the head while saving her because he can't control 2 different vectors at the same time. And he was like protecting her from some weird virus thing.
So he
took a
pulls
little bit of brain damage by getting shot before he reversed the bullet.
So now
he's got a battery.
Yeah,
he's
got to charge his battery with it.
So
it's
he's the Kirito of this series, right?
He's a lot stronger than Kirito because as long as he's got like a fucking Duracell battery and he's got his full power.
It's essentially the author's way of saying, yeah, all right, we know like Accelerator is going to become even stronger, and he's already level 5, number 1. So
yeah, like he's not. Yeah, it's like he can lose. He has lost in the series already because he's like fucking.
But it's like
his
the
wounds
losing
and
makes
run
sense
out of
now
juice.
instead of like he's already like the level 5, and now like this is not actually at the timeline yet where it's like he's level 6 or anything like that, right?
No, not
so
yet.
It's like
I think he does become level 6 in this series, though. Obviously,
Yeah.
Very...
No, I mean,
so it's like they wanted to put a cap on that, so they gave him battery.
do you remember when Kirito got stabbed by that nano drug and became brain dead for like?
Yes, the nano.
So it's kind of like that, except he got a bullet to the head in a way.
Yes, pretty much.
It's a little bit less brain damage because he can like. He's like crippled without the battery, but he's slowly, I think, rehabilitating anyway by using his power.
By using like the Misaka network or whatever. But also, it's much better because unlike Kirito, being brain dead did not create a new series called Alicization, which also sucked. So
it's true. Being brain dead created a series that was actually better than the main series.
I mean, if I can take a guess, right? I believe the premise is like Accelerator is doing Accelerator things, and then he works with a necromancer, right? I believe, right?
Yeah. So he's doing some shit, and then a necromancer shows up, and she's like, she walks up to him, and she's like, "This girl's life is in danger," and he's like, "Get the fuck out of my hospital room."
Yeah.
And so she gets arrested by by quote unquote anti-skill, the police force. But Accelerator sees a picture of Last Order she was holding, and he's like, well, now I'm angry.
Yeah.
And so he finds out that it's this big conspiracy of like these random like military guys that are posing as anti-skill. Yeah. And so he saves the necromancer chick, and she's like, "Yeah, my old partner is like shoving dead bodies in robots to amplify their power, and I taught him how to do it, so I need to stop it." And then he gets roped up into it because it involves Last Order, and anything involving her, he'll pretty much like nearly kill anyone in his way
Yeah, pretty much.
because of his own like guilt shit,
Yeah.
which is a cool thing with the series. Honestly, because he even gets called out about it, and then it just pisses him off even more.
Yeah, it's just the only thing that might be slightly bad about it is just like essentially like every episode becomes an escort mission in a game, but other than that, it's
Yeah, I mean, like that is there are a few gripes that are just inherent to the series. Like one,
Yeah.
the cool fights don't involve Accelerator that much because no, like he's essentially untouchable for all intents and purposes.
Mhm.
The other cool, like the other thing I would say is just kind of like the pacing. Like this is actually, I think, going faster than like some of the manga, but it's still only 12. It's only 12 episodes, and we're not very far in the series whatsoever. Like we're on episode, what is it, 7 now? I think 7
Mhm.
just came out, and
It's pretty slow, yeah.
yeah, I think all he's gonna wind up doing is like saving one of the clones, and like that's about it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think he's really gonna accomplish a whole
Yeah,
lot
I was kind
here.
of surprised that because I wasn't like
I thought it was gonna be even faster,
yeah, I wasn't
or
looking at
24
the
episodes.
I wasn't watching it per se, but I was looking at some of the clips on YouTube. I was like, wait a minute, this is episode 7. Like, what's been going on in this series? Like, why is it so? Because
Yeah,
I
it's
read some of it and I was like, this is like early chapters still. So
yeah.
um,
Because yeah, the manga. I want to say the manga came out pretty frequently. It just wasn't translated frequently.
oh yeah, that's
So
true.
like each chapter was pretty like it was kind of long, but it had like a lot of stuff in it, like a lot of character interaction and everything. So
Hold on there 1 second. You said there's a lot of fights, right? Other than
there's
Accelerator,
not that many fights, but
who could fight?
I mean,
I-
pretty much there's only been fights the entire show.
Yeah, there's Accelerator, but then there's like
Well, there's Accelerator. There's Iho,
Who's
the
that?
anti-skill chick with a shield. Who I don't remember if she actually has a supernatural ability or not. But if she does, I think it's a defense thing because she's like fucking knocked away rockets with her shield, her
So
riot shield. So
who would win in a fight, her or Shielder?
probably Shielder. Shielder's just a little bit stronger than like a pretty normal person with a riot shield. Just throw that.
Yeah.
Here, can you confirm?
Yeah, you think Mashu is a little bit stronger than like a police officer with a
Yeah, Mash has stopped like cities, so
yeah, I don't know
Is-
if I
is-
don't know if she can do that quite yet.
Tell
But
me
yeah,
about these
the-
Mikoto clones. How many
The
are there?
clones, well, in this show and series, there's like 7 that have been shown, but only 2 that have been like named with their numbers. So there's 10,046 and 19,090.
What? I'm not gonna remember
those
that.
are like the main ones.
What are their abbreviations?
19,090 and 10,046.
Can I
That's their abbreviations.
so if I can ask you about a little bit about the series, because I know like once we kind of get to the premise, a lot of the things that we would talk about Accelerate in terms of plot is kind of already there. So I'm gonna kind of try to jump right to the meat of the discussion. But what I wanted to ask was, I know it kind of juggle. I mean, since it's an Accelerator series, and I've read a little bit of it, and I kind of get the gist of it. It's essentially juggling 3 general scenes or sort of general sort of states, which is 1, Accelerator is going to do something, right? It's like he's like going from place A to place B, or sitting in place A waiting to go to place B, like kind of being like, oh, I'm Accelerator, and then people around him are like,
I'm
oh
dark
man,
and brooding.
he's Accelerator, yeah. And then state 2 is people kind of or like people kind of being like, oh shit, he's so cool. Can I train you? Or like, oh, like all the girls kind of sticking to him, right? That's the second state. And then the third state is him, like people getting beat up until he arrives on the scene and then he beats up everybody, right? So
Yeah.
the thing is, I don't mind sort of having those three because I know it's kind of inevitable. But as much as possible, I would like the third option where it's like if we have to watch an Accelerator series, I would like to just watch and beat everything up for like 7 episodes. But is there a little bit more of that, or is that always like the last 20%, and then the first like 80% is like, oh man, Accelerator, you're so cool, like all that shit.
Most of it is it's not so much like Accelerator, you're so cool. It's more Accelerator being like, but I'm evil, and the
But I'm
Necromancer
evil.
chick being like, you're not evil. You've saved like 8 people.
You saved like Academies, at least
Yeah.
like twice, I think. Like,
Like the first episode starts with these dudes, these like high schoolers stole some secret weapon that was designed to fight him, and
Yeah.
then they take it, and then they go to fight him to sell his blood. And so they go to they fight him. They get a drop of his blood on a bag that Last Order is holding, and he sees them take her bag, and he goes, "I have to get it back." And the police officer goes, like, yeah, this is really bad. They have your blood. And he's like, I have to get Last Order's bag back.
Oh yeah,
He's
it's like
more concerned that they have
the
her
author loves
thing.
making that contrast where it's like, oh, he's so angry over Last Order stuff. What I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
Yeah,
that.
so it's pretty cute with stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of especially in the beginning, it's a lot of the Necromancer girl, like watching him put up with all of Last Order's shit and just being like surprised that he does. But yeah, so there's that. There's a lot of like him coming in and just being like, showing up and all the enemies being like, you're not so tough. And then he does like one thing and then they go, okay, yeah, you're pretty tough.
Well,
So it's a lot of that. But yeah, I like it. I would say,
So you're saying that Accelerator is carrying the weight of 3 series on his shoulders.
what do you mean 3?
Isn't there 3? Index?
Oh, well, I don't think he's carrying
Railgun,
the weight of
Accelerator?
Railgun. I would say Railgun and Accelerator are both very good, and
Then
I would say that
why are there
Index
so
is
many Mikoto clones
good
if
for
it's
a
not
while,
Railgun?
because Accelerator is honestly more tied to Railgun than he is to Index as a series.
Explain to me why there's so many Mikoto clones. Couldn't they find another level 5? Why aren't there like 1,000
No, because
Accelerator clones?
really quick thing here. They made the clones to have Accelerator kill to force him to do something called a level 6 shift.
yeah.
Oh, so like leveling up? I gotcha.
Yeah, he would have had to have killed. They estimated him to have killed Misaka Makoto herself 100 times over in order to do it.
So they made like clones that he had to
So
kill
they-
like 100,000
yeah.
times or something.
They made clones, and then they were like, "Wait, we actually can't clone a level 5, so we're just gonna make 10,000 like level 3, or no, 20,000 level 3s for you to kill."
Yeah.
And he didn't. He also, really important fact, he also didn't have a choice. It was either he does that or the like underground government force fucking kills him.
So they held a gun in his hand and made him pull the trigger. I got you.
Yeah, more or less actually. So yeah, so there's that. But yeah, the series itself I would say is really good. Its pacing is obviously, it's not slow, but there's like so much that Accelerator himself hasn't gotten very far, right? Like the entire series has been like conflict after conflict after conflict of like different shit happening.
The thing is, I see Accelerator as like it has the unfortunate job of being a spin-off, but at the same time it has to juggle so much stuff by virtue of being an Accelerator series. Like it has to handle the new girls coming in from the spin-off. It has to handle the old girls coming in from the main timeline. It has to handle Accelerator action scenes. It has to handle the major plot of the spin-off. It has to handle like all this other garbage, like index continuum garbage. It has to handle like there's so much things that it just has to juggle, right? And it's like it's probably hard to get to them all.
Yeah. So it definitely is. It's hard to get to it all, but the series itself, like the actual like full plot line,
Mhm.
it's hard. It's like it's gonna be hard to get through that in 12 episodes, like to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much. It's I would describe it as it's almost like trying to take. It's not quite trying to take like a JoJo part and fitting it into 12 episodes, but it's like almost there. Like this show should have been 24 episodes, unless it's just gonna get a second core or a season 2.
It's probably gonna.
I mean, it's definitely gonna get multiple seasons. I think this might have been why they did it, and they like kind of didn't really do much with Index season 3.
It'd be pretty funny if like
I think Index season 3 might have been the final one. I have a strong feeling
the problem
that
is,
they're not gonna do New Testament anytime soon.
absolutely not.
It-
They might.
I think
they
they're
might
really
do
just gonna
some
be
part
done with
as
it
like an OVA
entirely,
or something, or like a summer something
or a
bonus,
movie
but like
maybe.
yeah,
But
movie is the most likely. Excuse me.
yeah, I don't
But
think. I think this is what they're gonna carry on with now, like this and Railgun, and juggle the two.
yeah,
I don't know if
it'd
I
be
had said
funny if
this.
Accelerator
Audio.
gets season 3 within like 2-3 years. Well,
I would
Index
fucking adore that, honestly.
well
Like,
Index 3 gets like a season like a decade or some shit. Like,
I'd be perfectly fucking fine with that. Like, I've watched a little bit of 3, and I'm like, I'm kind of like done with this, man.
yeah.
The problem is like this show has the magic shit, but it's just like the necromancer shows up and it's just like, I'm a necromancer, and the cop lady is just like, I've never seen no necromancer in my life, but there's a dead body in front of me walking around, so I guess that's whatever.
Yeah.
They don't get into it at all, which is good because the flip side was Index, where they tried to do both and became a fucking absolute mess.
Let me ask you: did Index ever get her clothes back?
Yeah, that's why she has safety pins in them, because
Yeah.
it doesn't have an enchantment anymore, which was covered in like episode 3 of Index season 1.
So did they ever get those enchantments back?
No.
Isn't
I
that
don't
No,
believe
no,
so.
it's just regular
If
knuckles.
I remember, isn't that the whole reason why the series started? Because he destroyed her defensive measures, and so she's all like, "Now I gotta protect you."
Something like that. Like,
Wow,
she
what a
didn't
loser.
realize that he had like an ability like that until he like
Yeah, I
touched.
think it's more they kind of just got together and then shit
Yeah.
happening around
Well,
them.
she wound up. Yeah, they just like coincidentally met, and then he like wound up
And the Index
know,
kind of ended up staying
touching
at
his
the
clothes
house.
at one point, and then they fucking exploded.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how that happened. Anyway, Accelerator, great audio visuals, pretty good pacing. I mean, just as a show in general, like it's got good enough pacing. Like it's not going to cover a whole lot, but it's got a lot going on in it.
Okay.
So that's fun. Cool characters, good fan service. And what's his name? Screeches like a chimpanzee again when he laughs. So that's cool.
I keep
Nobuhiko Okamoto.
Yes, Nobuko Okamoto is. Oh god, that pairing with Accelerator is some okay hand shit right there. It's like that. This is the pairing we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great, pretty insane.
Don't you mean Bakugo's voice actor?
Yeah, and
Anyways, thank you,
that's
Dark.
probably. I was gonna say, Accelerator is probably definitely one of his earlier roles, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Shit came out in 2008.
Near. Who's the
What?
White Album guy? Isn't he also Bakugo?
What? What do you mean?
White
Album?
White Album
You
gently
mean
weeps.
White Snake?
White Snake is part 6.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. White Album.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Isn't it also Bakugo? I think it is.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah, It sounds familiar, but I don't know. Let me see right here. I'm on Mall, bro. Yeah, guess what? It sure is.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he's got a very distinct voice. Put it that way. Which is very interesting. Because I'm watching. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Actually, just really quick trivia with him. He's also in
My ass.
the the Uchi Musume series this season as well, I believe. Right?
Is he Dale or something?
Yeah, he's Dale.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
So
shit. that's
you've
pretty
got quite a contrast here, but he's dealing with like essentially a
good.
lolly
He's like
each
just
time.
coming on like every week, just like his like throat is dead essentially. Just like
Yeah, he's got to switch. He's got to like switch like that, you know. He's got to go
Yeah.
from screeching like a chimpanzee and a psycho to speaking in a pretty normal tone for the most part.
that's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Are you saying he's the new Junichi Sawabe of this season?
No, he has like 2 roles this season. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
What a god.
Anyway. Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Dark, for helping to cover Accelerator. I know the Accelerator spinoff is definitely a little bit one of the bigger brand names out there, so pretty good that we did cover it in time.
Hey, Dark. Who's this? Who's
Yeah.
this? Who's the wire sword chick?
What?
Who's the?
The Saint, fucking Kanzaki Kaori
Yeah.
or whatever.
Where's Kanzaki in this?
She's an Index, bro.
Why isn't she in this?
Kanzaka Kaori isn't really related to Accelerator.
Well, then why
Yeah.
should I watch this
She's
series?
not really involved.
If Kanzaki's not in it, why?
Well, because he's already got his pseudo harem of a lolly, a necromancer, a zombie, a police officer, like another police
Two
officer.
police officer milfs? What the hell?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Isn't she a Christian? I think I remember.
Kanzaki Kaori? Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a saint.
So
She's
Yeah.
like actually a saint.
how can
like a
she be
living
a saint
saint.
if she's Japanese?
What does that even mean? I don't even know
Yeah.
what that means.
Don't
so
you
we're
don't you
gonna-
have-
have don't you have to be
Alright,
dead
no,
to be
no.
considered a saint? That's the
Yeah,
rule,
that's
isn't
why
it?
she's so cool.
No, it's like the
Yeah,
rule
she's
is
not dead.
after a certain amount of time after you die is then when you can be recognized as a saint.
Yeah, there are no, as far as I understand, there are no such things as living saints except for
Yeah.
an index.
So is she dead?
No, she sure isn't.
She sure. Anyways,
then
we're
they're
gonna move on. All right.
Well-
No, shut up.
They're breaking the rules. You
We're gonna
you-
move on.
Point.
as a Christian, you can't hide this from me.
Yeah.
As a God-fearing
Sorry,
Christian.
this 4PA is a Christian conspiracy. Anyways, moving on, I'm going to be covering a little show known as Given. So this is a yaoi manga original series that was translated that was adapted into anime this season. Pretty interesting. It was actually done by Lerche. Lerche is quite a good series, or sorry, quite a good studio. I appreciate a lot of the stuff they do. They initially started with, I believe, Majikoi, Majide Watashi ni Koi Shinasai, a visual novel original that was made into an anime adaptation that I thought was pretty good. A lot of other stuff, Monster Musume, Kikai Shoujo, Kiko, wa Kizutsukunai, or Unbreakable Machine Doll. They did Assassination Classroom, Kakugurashi School Life, stuff like this. So a lot of pretty good stuff under their belt, a lot of pretty good reputation. This one is also under, I believe this is the Noitamina Block series for this season. So definitely one of the more unique stuff. So Prince asked, he's been wondering how BL is it really on the scale of 1 to 10. So I'll explain that in a bit. So basic premise here. One dude is like, damn, freaking, I want to play this guitar, and then he has all this like past trauma and stuff like that with his like issues with dealing with other people, suicide and stuff like that. So he wants to play the guitar, but he doesn't know how. There's another dude who's kind of like curt and like brutish, but then he's really good at the guitar, so he decides to teach this other guy. He decides to teach the main guy the guitar, and then they both get together in a band. But then the guy who wants to learn the guitar, they find out he's a really good singer. And then as time goes on in the band, the curt dude and then the main kind of shy shy guy kind of fall in love with each other, or at least the Kirk guy initially falls in love with the shy guy, and then after they do a concert, he confesses, blah blah blah, and then they go out with each other and stuff like that. I believe that's the general gist of the series here. As for how much is BL and how much is the guitar, the whatever stuff like that, I would say the so I have to be a little bit. I do want to be a little bit nuanced here. Like I joke about like Yuri on Ice, but that's because Yuri on Ice, honestly, a lot of it was memes. Like, let's be very real here. A lot of it was memes, and I don't think anybody in a serious discussion would disagree with me that a lot of it was kind of memes. But in terms of how Given is, there's always from like episode 2 or 3 onwards, there is this continual sort of like romance backplot, and you're like, oh, it's romance, and because they're two boys, it's yaoi. But and it and at times the way the romance backbone plot is expressed is a little bit on the nose in terms of like, oh man, what's this feeling I'm getting? It's like it's like これは恋なのか? It was like, it's this love kind of thing, right? that shit that Japanese dramas do, right? But I do want to say overall how the series approaches the relationships and stuff like that is a little bit more natural. It's a little bit more like kind of relaxing into it, right? Than it is how a lot of other sort of gay dudes kind of doing sports shit ends up being. So like again, the Yuri on Ice, a lot of it was, I'm fucking coming into the bath, guys. I'm fucking flashing myself in front of the screen. It's like, all right, like, can we not like can we not do this? Like, we don't have to do this, right? But I think Given is a lot more natural in what they do. So it is sometimes on the nose. It's like, oh, I don't know what this is. I'm feeling. It's a very sort of like sometimes it follows a very cookie cutter like Japanese drama romance nonsense. But for the most part, it's a natural inclusion, and I think most of the interactions between the characters and sort of the development is based around the band thing, and it's based around the dudes kind of making getting used to each other in the band, kind of planning out the concerts and the music, going through the character development, so on and so forth. And I think it's more about that than it is like, oh man, like how do I fucking jump this guy's pants? Like, it's not really that so much. Again, which is really nice. That being said, I mean, for me, I still do find it a little bit awkward at times when it's like on the nose and it's very like standard cheesy, like, oh man, what's this I feel like kind of thing. But I definitely don't mind it as much. I would say that's sort of more or less what I have to say about the romance part and the music part. The music trivia part is pretty like it's pretty standard. Like, at this point, it's 2019, and if freaking an animation studio can't get freaking music trivia right, it's over, right? Or rock trivia right, it's kind of over, right? Like go home. Like, you guys probably have musicians in the recording studio like right next door. Like, go home if you can't do trivia correctly. Is this count with men? I would say it's a little bit more heavy on the relationships kind of stuff. Like, again, the backbone, like the revisiting of the relationships. But other than that, it's a little bit more music related. Yes. So it's not so. The thing is, like, K-On! Has a lot more like messing around, right? It was one of the prototypes of the 4 girls in a room doing things, right? More than it was about like actual music, right? And this one is definitely a little bit more
So
about
it's
actual
it's
music.
more like Hibike Euphonium, but with men.
Yes, I think that would be relatively accurate. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that comparison. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I really had to say about the plot and stuff like that. Again, Lurche pretty solid. The manga original, or I mean, the adaptation seems to be pretty solid. The blending, the 3D like blending and stuff like that was kind of interesting because they tried to do this, trick where it's like, so they blended them in pretty decently, and they animated kind of okay, but it's like you could see like it wasn't like super smooth, but the trick that they did was they kept like the parts where it was like 3D, they only showed like a third of a second, a half of a second, kept like flashing it for like a couple of frames, and then like switched to the 2D parts. so it would seem like, oh man, they're playing all the instruments and they're doing stuff, and the shading's pretty nice, but it's only for like a couple of frames, so nobody has to stress out, and then they go back to like the 2D parts. So that was pretty funny. Other than that, not too much to say. The usual kind of Noitamina funkiness. Lerche coming in hot with a pretty good adaptation here. On that, again, there's a pretty consistent BL storyline, but most of it's pretty cut and dry. Like, oh man, we're all gonna be in a band and do band shenanigans kind of stuff. So, do you guys have any questions about?
So there's 4 of them, right? Many
The
of
4 of
them?
them are in the band, but the point is the main 2 characters are the most important, essentially.
So who's the bottom and who's the top? That's the thing in yaoi, right? The ume and the
Yes, I realize
seke.
Yeah. I have no idea who's the bottom and who's the top.
Do they fuck?
I have not read the
Yeah.
original that far yet.
Do they touch wieners?
I hope they do that in the anime toast.
Is this like one of those 3 minute not 3 minute
No, it's a
hentai,
full
but
series.
actually not
No.
that there's one every season that I watch?
No. This is a full anime by Lerche, and again, it's
So
animated
so
pretty-
you don't see censored wieners?
No, Toast, you do not see censored readers.
What?
There's no gachi.
And
There's
why
no
are
BL.
you
Or
reviewing
there's
this
no-
show?
Yeah,
given?
it's a
No, I said,
given.
why are you reviewing
It's a
this show?
given that he's going to review this.
No wieners?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Why did you even bother if it's not gonna be a
Why'd you
sausage
bring it
fest?
up?
Like dark and year. We're just here, just expecting me to go full
I mean,
full Kappa Pride here.
I'd be more impressed if you did, but now I'm just kind of
Kind
disappointed.
of disappointed. Just like was expecting a lot more here. Yeah, dude. Honestly, all joking aside, I kind of hope that other series or other like manga and stuff like that, or at least when studios choose adaptations, they choose more series like this, where it's not like I don't know how to say this. It's like it's not so much I'm like railing against the whole like studios portraying the whole like gay thing inaccurately. I just think it's kind of like I think we've seen enough series where it's like the other dude comes in and he's like, I'm so gay. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm
you guys
super gay, and you're gonna be gay too.
Yeah, I know. It's like you know that shit, right? Where it's like he just comes in, he's so like fucking gay. He's just like he essentially like jumps them in the bed, right? Like episode 3 or episode 4 and shit. It's like like do we need
and
more
then the main
series like
character's
this?
like, bro, I'm not gay, and then the other guy's like,
Yeah, you
really?
are now. Yeah. You
That's
guys
what
know
they
what I'm
all
talking
say.
about, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. But I just wish there were like there are enough series like that. So I think it's time to give that a break and try something else. Is what I'm
So you're saying this isn't on the level of Banana Fish, right?
I was gonna say Banana Fish was kind of guilty of that in a way.
saying.
Well, to be fair, Banana Fish was written in the '80s, so
Yeah, also Banana Fish is a little bit like there's like other focuses that are like
So Banana Fish is the progenitor of this?
the progenitor of gay.
Pretty sure BL stories were happening long before Banana Fish.
Wasn't there something about?
Yeah, well, if they
Was-
were, how come I didn't read them?
Yeah, wasn't it the
You see those Japanese paintings, and you just see like two dudes just suck each other off.
Wasn't there this one case study where it said the Romans invented the homosexuality?
I don't think anyone really invented it.
I mean, aren't there homosexual animals? Right?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
animals
it
are
just
animals.
kinda-
I mean,
kinda happens,
cavemen
bud.
invented
I-
homosexuality.
I think I read this.
Invented
I read this one case study where they were
Why are we
like,
talking about it like
I read this one case study where they were like, there was no records of homosexuality before the Romans, and it's because they put naked wrestling on their vases or whatever, and I'm like, okay.
Well, human beings didn't really record that much
Yeah, I don't think there was that much disinformation.
sexual acts before the Romans. Like,
Good job, Romans.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
thumbs up,
hey,
I
wait.
guess.
Congrats on inventing sex, Romans. Really, really good.
That's why Nero loves both men and women. Right?
Anyways,
I read about that in Fate.
yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much
history
all I had
teacher.
to say. Yeah, as that's pretty much all I had to say about Given. And but yeah, if you want to check out another pretty funky Noitamina block series, again done by Lerche, pretty solid studio here, and you want to kind of check out a mellow music series, then check this one out. It won't be too bad. And with that, we come to near. What do you have
Nair.
in store? What do you
Uh-oh.
have in store for us today?
Uh-oh.
Speaking of Nero,
Yeah, she's not in this one. So I watched Lord El-Melloi, the second case files.
why is it
Whale's Zeppelin Grace Note.
why is it the second case files? Who's the first? Where's the first
Wow.
case files?
Well, the first one died horribly in a wheelchair. So
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
That was great.
So Lord El-Melloi Case Files is a I guess it's a spin-off technically of the Fate series.
It's a spin-off, but it's canon, correct?
Yeah, it is canon. It is in the canon timeline, the main timeline, if you will.
It's a spin-off in the fact that it's well,
not
no,
like
you can still have spin-offs in the same chronological timeline, right?
Not so much for Fate.
not
though.
for
It's
not really
typical.
with Fate, because the way Fate is it's basically it's all like parallel worlds, right? So like Fate
Yeah.
Ravka is not in the same world, same timeline as Fate Stay Night.
So it's kind of like a tonal spin-off, but like a chronological, like
It's
the same continuity.
it's a spin-off of Fate Zero, but it's canon within the main Fate timeline.
Well, it's only really like it's technically a spin-off because it doesn't involve, like it's not Shiro, it's not fucking any of the the main characters or involving a
exactly.
Grail
I mean,
War.
it doesn't have to do with servants, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
But Luvia's in it, and is Luvia canon? She is, right? She has to be.
yes, she's canon. She is a canon character.
We saw her in Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah. So Lord El-Melloi Case Files is set 10 years after Fate Zero, and is set just before Fate Stay Night. And it follows the character Waver Velvet, who was a participant in the Holy Grail War in Fate Zero. And he's grown up and he's become
He's
a
become
mage.
Zug Lang.
Yeah, not yet. He's a mage teacher in the Mages Association's Clock Tower,
Yeah.
which is basically like Mage HQ in London. And he has taken up the burden of the El-Melloi family name, because he feels responsible for the death of Kenneth El-Melloi in Fate Zero, because in Fate Zero, Waver steals, or
Yeah,
I mean he steals it. He steals the catalyst that Kenneth was going to use to summon Iskander, and Waver summons him instead. And because of that, Kenneth instead has to use the his backup plan, where he summons Diarmuid.
Was it earring? Was it earrings? No. Ku was earrings. What was the catalyst? Or was
I
it
forget
unspecified? I don't know.
I don't remember if they explicitly show it, but
All right.
but because he summons Diarmuid, essentially he loses. And he dies a pretty horrible death. Because of what's his name again?
Kiritsugu.
Yes, thank you.
Do you remember that one scene in Code Geass where Lelouch plants the Geass? Yeah, there's a Geass.
Yeah. And Waver kind of feels responsible for that because of the way events transpired, and he takes on the burden of the El-Melloi family. He becomes a lord of the clock tower in place of Rhinus El-Melloi, which is this young girl who says she's too young to be a lord, and it's too much responsibility. So he takes it for her.
So like is he basically adopted into the family because that's how mage families works, or he just like I'm just gonna take the title?
He just takes the title basically.
Nice.
I believe he's technically part of the family, just in the way like he has to take the responsibilities that the family would have to deal with. But I don't think he doesn't have like. So the way they set it up is Kenneth's mage crest, which is like the thing that mages pass on to future generations. They say it basically gets fucking obliterated in Fate Zero.
Because he's dead.
Yeah, because of the way he died. And so it'll take like 3 generations or something in order to restore it. And so like he doesn't get the mage crest or anything, so it's not like he gets like the El-Melloi magic. So he's still just Waver, right? But yeah, the series is it's sort of semi-episodic with like overarching plot. The format is the format of the original, which was a light novel, right?
Yep.
Yes, it was a light novel.
It has 10 volumes, and it goes through 5 cases. And the cases are relatively self-contained.
So Nier, I'm gonna ask you a question. I think you'll already have seen coming.
Yeah.
But
Who would win in a fight in here? Lady Grey or Saber?
that was not the question. But how much? So to an outsider, how much do you need to know about previous Fate Zero, for instance, to
Consider this a direct sequel, right?
I think you need to watch Fate Zero to really kind of know what's going on, because a lot of like I said, it's semi-episodic, right?
Right.
With a relatively overarching plot.
But the context is
But
still like Fate Zero stuff.
Yeah, majority of Waver's character heavily relies on the audience knowing what happened explicitly to
that makes
Waver
sense
in Fate Zero. And I mean, the anime kind of like shows what happens. But without watching Fate Zero, you don't really get like why the Holy Grail War was so important to Waver, and why he feels the way he does in El-Melloi case files. And it's interesting because this series isn't like Waver's is essentially he's the main character, right? But it's not really all that much about Waver. He's kind of just like the detective man that solves everything, right? Because for the most part, these are like detective stories.
Exactly.
To be fair, why would you watch this first over Zero? It's your
because it's new.
Let's just say Nier that most people who
but it also doesn't. It's not like the fucking Fate's even in its name.
Yeah.
Like if you just showed me the title Lord El-Melloi, I would have already forgotten that was even a thing in Zero.
To be fair, most people who would watch this basically would start off with 0. This isn't something that you can
Well,
just
yeah,
go
but if you're
willy-nilly
just
I mean,
to.
there could be
browsing,
a person that
like,
kind of comes across just kind of browsing and just wonder.
I mean, there are people who are watching Boruto who don't know Naruto was a series. Like,
yeah, that's true.
What?
yes,
yeah,
Yes.
like there
yeah,
are
that's
How
that
how
might-
how old are they?
there were probably pretty young. There are going to be
Yeah.
people watching this who don't have
So
never seen a
so
second
like
of Fate.
so like the Fortnite generation is watching this. Ugh.
In breaking news, anime fans can be quite young.
Any
But,
age.
they call them ninjas. Actually, it's
But
the
yeah,
ninja gen.
so Waver, he's basically
Oh, Snake, what's
he's
this?
not really the main focus of this series, in my opinion. I think a lot of the way this series kind of goes through its I guess characterization is
Mhm.
through Gray,
Mhm.
which is Waver's quote unquote apprentice.
Yeah.
And Gray is a uh
Say it, near. You say it.
she's not a homunculus, right?
No.
She's no, she's
She
basically she's from a village who basically bred um the ideal image of King Arthur, right?
Who's King
Uh-huh.
Arthur?
And if you don't know, King Arthur is a very important figure in Fate.
It's called the
Um,
Holy Grail War for a reason.
Yeah. And Gray is sort of like, I guess, the pinnacle of this village's like generations long goal of creating like essentially the return of King Arthur. Because if you don't know, the legend of King Arthur is that one day he'll return and save like all of Britain, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so they basically bred Gray in order to be the spitting image of King Arthur, and in fact, she is, and she wields Rangominiad, which is the spear that King Arthur used.
So
But how come
she's
she wields a spear if she's really using a scythe?
Yeah.
so she's basically the equivalent of the Ainsruns except with real people.
Yeah. Gray, however, is I guess like ashamed that she looks like King Arthur or whatever. Like she doesn't like being um
Compared?
she doesn't like the idea of like being
Having
the
to live up?
reincarnation of something else, right?
Oh, okay.
They were basically okay. So they were basically going to Heaven's Feel her, and
Yeah.
like they're trying to find King Arthur's soul, which they can't find because it's in the Throne of Heroes. And they were like, we're gonna throw you in here, and no, we don't like Gray anymore. You goodbye. We're gonna soul transmigrate King Arthur's soul into you, and they were like, what was it? Waver's like, no. Then he
Yeah,
takes her.
Waver didn't like that, and he saves her. And so like pretty much ever since then, she doesn't like she basically doesn't like seeing her own face. Because it
Right.
reminds her of what she's supposed to be or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So she always wears a hood or whatever, because she doesn't like the way she looks. And like I said earlier, she wields the spear Rangominiad, but because the spear Rangominiad isn't really something that like a human being is supposed to be able to hold.
Mhm.
It's sealed by Ad, which is a mystic code, which is this weird like talking little head thing in a bird cage. And Gray releases like the seals, and it becomes a scythe, and she fights with that.
This is the real Rangominiad, not a
Yeah,
fake one.
it's
The actual one,
real Rangominiad.
just like the real Avalon in Fate Zero.
Yeah. But a lot of the characterization, like I said, is done through Gray. Because like I said, a lot of the way this story kind of just presents itself is the audience like knows what happened to Waver. They know why Waver like thinks the way he does.
It's more of an aftermath than it is an
Yeah. And
after story
so
in a sense. Yeah.
a lot of the like character exploration is basically just Gray learning why like Gray has to learn why Waver thinks the way he does, like what he went through, stuff like that. And in the process, like, kind of look into herself and think, like, am I important enough to like be part
So
of his life?
is the episodic nature of the episode or of each episode, is it more just like, so it starts with that bigger picture and then immediately, like in the first couple of minutes, 7 minutes, it gets into the history and does all the stuff, and then the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes it relapses back into sort of the big picture kind of thing. Is that how it works?
I think it's interspersed throughout the entirety of it, so it kind of sets up. So the way the cases work is, the cases in the original are kind of like, I think they're like more or less 2-3 volumes long each, except for like the first one, which is super short. And the adaptation for the most part has been like 1 volume per episode. But it's more or less the case gets introduced, right? Like Waver's like, oh, well, we have to go to this place and solve this mystery, or, you know, characters get sucked into a mystery, stuff like that. It sets it up, and then as it goes along, they go, oh, well, you know, part of this character's backstory leads into like solving the mystery, or like this character needs to think about, you know, certain aspects of themselves, like certain, like what they're looking at within themselves in order to like solve a mystery, and it kind of all works into itself. It's not really just like, here's the mystery, and then at the end it's like, well, the lesson of the day was so on and so forth, right? It's
Right.
kind of all mixed into itself pretty well, I think.
Is the whole like development in terms of finding out more about Waver from a different perspective, is it like after they kind of come back, they kind of, do a retrospection, and then they kind of think more, they do the character development from there, or are a lot of mysteries kind of connected to them, essentially, to the main character?
A lot of mysteries are connected to them. There's also the fact that a lot of characters kind of come in and like a lot of characters simply know about Waver because he's a lord of the clock tower, right? They're pretty big names.
Yeah,
And so a lot
and
of
they drop
characters
like
will
tidbits
come
and
in
stuff.
and be like, you know, like, I'm trying to do this and that. What are you trying to do? And then, you know, Waver will maybe divulge some info about himself, or like,
Or they'll say stuff on the side.
yeah,
Yeah.
or like the fact that the current arc right now, that's going on in the anime is, it's a train thing where basically there's a train that goes along once every year, I believe, and it's basically an auction, for mystic eyes, which is
Okay.
Nice.
it's a thing in the Nasuverse, which is basically special eyeballs that give you special powers.
How many mystic eyes have been revealed? We got the depth perception was like the rainbow eyes, right? And
Yeah,
then
there's the mystic eyes of death perception, which are pretty famous.
then you got you got Arquade's eyes. What are they called again?
I don't remember, but
They're gold, right, or whatever.
yeah, in Lord El-Melloi alone, Rhaenys has mystic eyes of like fire or something. They turn red whenever she like senses magical energy,
Okay.
which is very convenient little thing that they do. It's like, I see a clue. My eyes are turning red, right?
For those who don't know, it's basically the Byakugan and the Sharingan, except way better.
It's like freaking Ghostek and the crystals of chaos or whatever. It's like I can see what's going on.
Or since it's a detective show, you remember Batman's detective vision in the Arkham Knight series?
Yeah.
Like that.
In another arc, there's a character that has mystic eyes of like fairy perception, which
that sounds lame.
Yeah, he can see fairies.
Wow,
and it ties in to like the entire mystery of
fairies are what, little light bulbs? Wow, cool.
No,
they're pretty important in Fate. Toast.
Yeah, but
they're
what
pretty ladies.
No, not in Fate. They're like little little balls of light or ghosts floating around. They don't look. They don't look
Yeah,
like your typical
maybe-
fairies.
Maybe in the Age of the Gods they were like that, but now they're like fucking monsters and like
Yeah.
actual people. But so the train arc is like this auction for mystical eyes, right? And
Mhm.
there's a character that's from Fate Grand Order that shows up, which by the way, Lord El-Melloi takes place like 20 years before Grand Order is supposed to take place. Something like that. And she comes in and she's like, I'm gonna buy these like rainbow class eyes. And I want you to like if somebody else bids, I want you to bid instead because the idea is nobody's gonna get into a bidding war between two like really, really big mage families, right?
Mhm.
Is it
But then-
Luvia?
No, it's Olga Marie, dude.
Oh,
Um,
Olga Marie. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo, she's dead. And so Olga Marie's assistant has like this big long talk with Waver, and he talks about like why for him like he feels like so enraptured with like the Holy Grail War and how like in a way he wants like why he wants to take part in another Holy Grail War, which through the series they say like another one is about to happen and two candidates have already been picked, right?
Mhm.
And then they show Bizet and the other like dark skinned dude, both of which by the way never make it into the Holy Grail War. And
Wow, what a loser.
yeah, and like a lot of Waver's motivation for going into these like cases is he's working for this other family because he wants to get a ticket into the next Grail War because
Right.
it's
Why does
super important to him.
Why? It's like you just got through one. Why would you want to do it again?
Because he wants
To
to be
end 'em
reunited with
all,
his
bro.
Iskander, dude.
Wow, he wants his bro back. I mean, I understand that, but
Yeah, and the reason he's on the train is because his catalyst for summoning Iskander gets stolen, and somebody leaves behind this invitation for this auction and says like, "Meet me here." And then the mystery is like why somebody stole it, like who exactly it is on the train that invited him, and stuff like that. And a lot of it has been like reflection on Waver of like what he really wants to do in the next Grail War, right? So
Right.
it's like there's moments of characterization in the mysteries, right?
Is
So,
it's pretty much all mainly from a third, like a different perspective, right? It's not like waivers. It's like
there's no there's not really any like inner monologues, no.
yeah.
So
So that's part of sort of what allows kind of there to be a little bit more like introspection instead of this is what I'm thinking about kind of thing going on.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I mean I think that covers majority of like just the base like premise of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, it's 5 cases. I think we're on the 3rd or 4th. I don't remember. But the adaptation, like I said, is like 1 volume per episode. The first episode was actually completely anime original, which is pretty interesting. Other than that, it's pretty solid adaptation, I think. Yeah, it looks nice too. Animated by Troika.
Oh, Troika.
Yeah, they've done
Aldo
you
Zero.
know, Aldo Zero, Recreators.
Great, perfect track
Yeah.
record.
2 things that look nice, but weren't very good. But yeah,
What
it's a
about
good
Gray's
adaptation.
rhyme?
I don't like it. But, you know,
what is it? A grave to you? Yeah, right.
It's Gray.
Oh,
What is
that
it? Gray
Grave,
rave,
Gray rave.
grave,
Yeah.
grave for you, grave
Grave.
me.
me.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
She's basically
I mean-
she's pulling an Abdul, man.
What did she
isn't it
mean by
cool?
probably sounded cooler to the Japanese, but
Are you saying that Abdul's hail to you is not cool?
I mean,
Yeah,
that was
I mean,
one
that's a lot.
line. He did.
What?
He
Shorter?
didn't.
Good though.
Yeah, but I think personally, a lot of this series is like value. It kind of has to be like watched by a Fate fan, I think.
Well, I agree with that 100%.
I mean, that's pretty much every Fate spinoff. I mean, it's not like not even
I mean,
like Fate spinoffs, like spinoffs in general, though,
I
right?
think this one the most though,
Yeah.
because like I said
Oh yeah,
earlier
right,
in the podcast, like
yeah.
there are characters that show up from Fate Apocrypha in this series. By the way, Fate Apocrypha is not part of the main timeline.
Right.
There are characters that show up from Fate Stay Night. There are characters that show up from Fate Zero, of course. There are characters that show up from Fate Grand Order. Like there's a lot of guest characters in this series. There's a lot of just tiny tidbits of information that are like, this is from like a completely other series, right?
It's more like, hey, you remember that series? Well, guess what? We're gonna throw them in here.
Yeah,
Buy
like
our
there's a lot
books.
of like tiny bits of information that like you can really only pick up if you've read or seen the other source material, right?
Right, exactly.
Like the fact that when they say like another Grail War is starting, two clock tower candidates have already been picked and they name Bizet, right?
Oh yeah.
To somebody who's only
Bizet.
watched Fate Stay Night, they'll be like,
Mhm.
who the fuck is Bizet? She never showed up in the Grail War, right?
Gee, I wonder who.
Because Bizet is a character from fucking Fate
Ataraxia.
Ataraxia, thank you. And it's revealed that the reason she's not in the Grail War is because Kirei like fucking steals her servant.
Why? It's Bazette. What's her name? Bazette something? What's her name?
Fraga or something.
Fragarak.
Yeah.
Yeah. With like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a Celtic name. Why would a Japanese Christian priest summon a Celtic servant? It's the same reason why Lord El-Melloi had Sola Ui. The Celtics want to summon a Celtic servant.
Yeah. But I feel like this series is it's kind of like I mean I don't really want to use the word love letter because it's like it's fairly
A love letter to Fate would be basically extra.
Yeah.
And Grand Order, but eh.
Grand Order recently is a bit of a love letter to Fate 2. I think the early Grand Order was kind of trying to do its own thing, but that kind of fell flat. But this is like it's a big like there's a lot of info that you really need to experience the other series to absorb.
Right.
But like on its own, I think it's a very good like detective, like supernatural detective series. It's not super big on like, oh, I solved the mystery and here's how kind of thing. It's like kind of just it goes through the motions of solving the mystery and then the mystery is solved, right?
Right,
Like
exactly.
it doesn't do this big like info dump at the end of like, well, this happened and this happened and then I picked up this clue and this happened. It kind of all happens in real time, which is pretty nice. Because a lot of mystery series they don't do like any of the clue picking up along
a lot
the
of
way.
it's like I solved so again it's the thing where I call it a detective series, not a mystery series, right? Where it's like mystery is like the audience can almost kind of start solving the mystery on their own, whereas a detective series is like they're like, I solved it, and then they explain it after the fact, right?
Yeah. Obviously there's a decent amount of explaining as it goes on because it's dealing with a lot of Nasuverse stuff, a lot of stuff that just a casual watcher would be unfamiliar with, like the fact that a sheer mention of mystic eyes has to be like, yeah, by the way, mystic eyes are these things that they're special eyeballs that people are usually just born with, and they have all these special powers and stuff.
Right,
You know, they kind of have to dump information here and there every once in a while, but for the most part, I feel like the mysteries kind of just the clue finding goes along like in real time, and then at the end it's like I solve the mystery's over, right? Usually at the end there's a Gray who will fucking whack something with her scythe, and it's like happy day, everything's solved. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good standalone series, but I think majority of its value is
right.
to
It's
Fate
not so.
fans,
It's
right?
yeah. It's not so much like the mystery as like what happens in the after story, sort of.
Yeah,
But it's just like the front cover, the front business is the mystery part. Is
yeah,
what you're saying here.
yeah, and it's solid.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a good series.
Who
Yeah.
would win in a Mystic Eye fight? Let's say who has Mystic Eyes? No, let's say Seal versus the one fire chick. Who would win? Or no, Seal's just in terms of Mystic Eye because Seal's too strong.
Oh. What?
What?
Which fire chick?
What's it called? The one where her eye glows red and she's all like, my I got dry eyes because I see magic.
Rhaenys? She
Yeah.
doesn't use her mystic eyes to fight. They're just like I see magic and they glow.
Yeah, but who would win in a fight? Seal.
No, not her.
Seal just uses hers to do the Jedi mind trick. So
Yeah, so
That's
seals
a little
are
bit
already
more than seeing
useful.
magic.
All right.
Seal's
well,
also immortal, so
because you could say like what is it? Duarmeat of the Love Spot also has a mystic eye, but his mystic eye is the mole.
it's not an eye.
yeah.
It's mystic mole.
Yeah. That conversation aside. Any last words?
Near.
It's pretty good. I think the soundtrack is a little bit too subdued for my tastes.
It doesn't really feel like Fate. You're saying
I mean, it's obviously trying to emulate
Fate
like
Zero?
Fate Zero, especially a lot of like the just background tracks. But with like the OP especially, like the OP, it doesn't have any vocals, right? Like uh it's just like this string piece, right?
Oh, that's interesting.
And like it's interesting, but
That's really rare. Yeah.
with the visuals it has, it really feels like it was supposed to have like this like, you know, fairly standard opening for its like music,
Huh.
right?
Yes, I kind of see what you're going with that. Yeah.
And I don't know, it feels weird. It almost feels like the opening like wasn't finished, you know, like they kind of just threw in a placeholder track and
Exactly.
they were just like, yeah, that works. I don't know. The soundtrack isn't bad by any means. It's quite good. But it feels a little bit subdued, like too subdued, in my opinion.
Right. It felt like it was trying to go to like something like the Italian no Shoka kind of funky thing,
Yeah.
essentially.
Other than that, it looks really nice. I think Troika did a pretty good job of having a fairly different art style from the typical Fate series, while keeping the same tone, right? So, stuff like Fate Kaleido, right? Like it has obviously its very own unique art style, right?
Mhm.
But who did that? Silverlink or White Fox?
Silverlink.
It was
Ilya?
Silverlink, right? Yeah, Ilya.
I think it was Silverlink. Yes. No, it was definitely Silverlink.
Yeah. Like that series, like it looks fine on its own, right? But then when it gets into like the actual Fate stuff,
Mhm.
it doesn't really feel like Fate, right? Like the tone is just off.
Don't worry, Near. That's what the Shiro movie's for.
Yeah. But Troika did a good job, I think, of having a very different art style, and very different like character designs too, for a lot of the characters, and while keeping like the same tone, the same feel that a Fate series like should have.
Right.
But yeah, I think Troika did a very good job of adapting this. And yeah, I mean it's a good series, especially if you're a Fate fan. Check it out.
Near,
Stuff.
you
Yeah.
forgot the most important character of Lord El-Melloi case files.
Who?
You forgot Trimao, however you pronounce it.
Who?
The maid.
Yeah. What about her? She's there.
Tell us about Trimao.
She's just a fucking magical familiar that talks sometimes. She doesn't get very much screen time in this series.
Well, that's a shame. For the spoiler for those who don't know, Near, you know who Trimao is, right?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, do you remember that weird metal slime that the first Lord that Kenneth had? It's this. That's what this is.
I mean, that's the El-Melloi magic.
Yeah. And so Waver was like, give me that, and he turned it into a maid golem, and everyone's all like clapping because that's really cool.
Yeah.
Please clap.
All of his students, he forced them to stand up in the lecture and clap for him.
I mean, I'd clap. Who cares about volume in Hydra whatever? Now you got a maid golem.
Okay, well, anyways, with that out of the way, the game year for covering, I know also Lord El-Melloi, well, it's besides it being a Fate spinoff, it was also kind of, as we already discussed, it was a little bit confusing about how it was marketed. So it's good that we kind of got that cleared up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say there were definitely people, people from the outs, like not non-Fate fans, kind of being like, I have no idea what this is. Should I dip my toe in it? Like kind of thing going on. So, anyways, again, thank you.
Dip your toes into Trimao, if you know what I mean.
Don't do that.
Yes. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to news here. A lot of sort of company news these past 3 weeks. Not a lot of big sort of like anime news or anything like that, for the most part. So let's start off with the first piece of news. There's some awards stuff going on. So first off, the Motion Picture and Television Engineering Society of Japan, or MPT, announced on Tuesday that Studio 4 Degrees C and Guillaume Renard's Mutafukas, or MFKZ, the animated film based on Renard's comic series of the same name, won the animation category of its 72nd MPT Awards. The award ceremony will be held at Academy Hills in Roppongi Hills, Tokyo, on October 31st. So this was the one we covered a little bit a while back, the collab, I think, right?
Yeah.
The French like something collab. Yeah, the French Japanese collaboration.
Wasn't
here.
the French Japanese collab in what's it called? Pump Team Epic.
I mean, they probably did that too.
Yeah.
Don't you remember that one episode of Pop Team Epic where it was in French?
No, I don't remember any episodes of Pop Team. I don't think about it. But
that's racist.
Yeah. The Renard's original comic series is set in quote-unquote Dark Meat City, a pre-apocalyptic American urban jungle. It revolves around Angelino, a young man whose scooter accident results in the acquisition of supernatural powers. Ankama's official website for the comic stated that it is inspired by science fiction of the 1950s, hip-hop music, and wrestling. But yes, congratulations to them.
Good movie, by the way.
Yeah. Next, the International Otaku Expo Association, IOEA, yes, that's a real organization, announced on Thursday that it is working with the Toshima Ward of Tokyo to host the Otaku Summit 2020 event on June 27th through 28th, 2020 as an official Tokyo 2020 program event in association with the Tokyo Olympics. The IOEA describes the event as a quote-unquote place for international exchange through the otaku culture, where people from around the world who love otaku culture and world event organizations can gather. Exhibitions, academic conferences, and seminars. The event will take place in Ikebukuro at Sunshine City and the Toshima Residence Center. For those of you who are wondering, it's this sort of thing is going to be a lot like, it's probably going to be like an actual like adult kind of conference. It's not going to be like a convention. Just so you know, that's sort of what it's sounding like, to be honest. But the nonprofit IOEA was formed in 2015 and describes itself as a quote-unquote global association of expos and events where enthusiasts of the otaku culture may gather together. Organizers who belong to the event include Comic Market and Nico Nico Chokaigi in Japan, and Oricon and SakuraCon in the United States. For those of you know, well, you guys know obviously Comic Market is Comic-Con. Nico Nico Chokaigi, Chokaigi is Nico Nico's main sort of event creation organization. They do a lot of stuff, especially with regards to famous Nico Nico streamers, virtual YouTubers, so on and so forth. Anyways, that might be a little bit interesting to go through, but obviously there's going to be a lot of events surrounding the Tokyo Olympics. Let's see this. All right. So next, this is a little bit of numbers. The Japan External Trade Organization, or JETRO, released its report on the Japanese content market in the United Kingdom and France in March. The report noted that anime-related content forms a majority of the Japanese screen content present in the market for both countries. The report highlighted the demographic differences in animation consumers, blah, blah, blah. Animation is seen as more of a niche product in the UK, and there is more focus on the children's demographics. For anime, the dominant shows are still Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Beyblade, and other kids-oriented programming. However, subscribers to streaming services in the UK are more inclined towards mature anime, despite such anime having difficulty breaking into the mainstream. So, in contrast, 40% of people over the age of 18 in France are consumers of animation. Television channels that broadcast non-Japanese animation are largely aimed at children, while anime is seen as targeting teenagers and older. So, yeah, pretty interesting. It's a little bit more, again, into a pretty small slice of the European market going on here. Still an interesting way that it's showing this sort of dynamic between the sort of the bulwark, right? The sort of always solid kids animation TV shows that are, coming in from Japan. Obviously, some even working with like local companies, stuff like that, right? And what we would consider to be the quote unquote anime, right? So stuff that we might watch, kind of sneaking into streaming services more. So pretty interesting. Obviously, some numbers might change as streaming grows more, but we'll see how it goes. Next, the official website for Square Enix's Starwing Paradox arcade game announced on Thursday that the staff has canceled the game's tournament events that were scheduled for later this month due to the staff receiving numerous death threats. So the announcement noted that the game's management team had been receiving death threats since last week until this past Wednesday. After filing a police report, the team consulted with both the police and the staff for each venue for the event, decided to prioritize the safety of attendees and cancel the events. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. Anyways, let's see. I think, again, not a good look, especially, so after, the unfortunate Kyoto Animation incidents, and also, the recent, outing of the former, the voice actor / singer who got, stabbed last year, right? Stabbed like 50 times last year.
Yeah.
Mayu Tomita, I think was her name or something like that. But it's better to take these precautions than not to be honest, at this point. So, anyways,
Especially from Square Enix.
yeah, exactly. There's no need to take these risks if you can. Two pieces of Kyoto Animation related news. So Kyoto Animation announced on Wednesday that it had temporarily suspended its 11th Kyoto Animation Awards for obvious reasons. For the time being, the studio will no longer accept submissions or inquiries about the awards. The announcement noted that people who already submitted inquiries may have to wait for some time for responses. The studio will post updates about the awards on its website in the future. So yeah, they're a little bit busy here. Yeah, I mean, not that the awards are pretty bunk, but anyway. Oh right, I forgot. The only work that has ever won a grand prize at the awards was Violet Evergarden. Everything else is always like honorable mentions, second place, so on.
Yeah.
Shaking my head. Stupid fucking awards. Anyways, second piece of news. The Sankei News reported on Thursday that the Japanese government has instituted tax breaks and relief measures for donations to Kyoto Animation. Thus, donations to the studio will be treated in the same way as donations to local government disaster relief. Previously, donations to Kyoto Animation would have been treated as taxable income for the studio, but the new measure will lessen the tax burden on the corporation to assist in rebuilding and helping the families of victims. So always good to hear that. Hopefully, they can again get back on their feet pretty as quickly as possible and provide the appropriate relief. And yeah, good changes here. And that was it for the non-people news. Moving on quickly to the person news. First off, voice actor Hiroshi Masuoka has retired from his roles of Sazae-san's Masuo Fukuta and Soreiki Anpanman's Jam Oji-san. Hideyuki Tanaka will take over the role of Masuo, and Koichi Yamadera will take over Jam Oji-san. So he started playing these roles in like 1978, 1988. So it's been going on for a while. So obviously a very sort of a storied voice actor retiring at a pretty good age. So please wish him all the fortunes for during his retirement. Next, the official website for Tohokai, the Alumni Association for the Toho Gakuen Vocational School, announced on July 30th that voice actor Yu Shimaka passed away on July 28th at the age of 70. So he was perhaps most well known as a Japanese dub voice for the Disney character Goofy, and he played in like Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that, and other related Goofy works. In anime, he had roles in Code Geass, Luluchu the Rebellion, Mobile Suit Gundam, War in the Pocket, Star Blazers 2199, Robin Hood, anime, Powered Hour Dorvac, so on and so forth, and a lot of other things. So please wish his family and friends condolences. Next. Police in Shinjuku, Tokyo arrested a 40-year-old man who works in the delivery industry for allegedly sending a threat and creating forcible obstruction of business at game developer Square Enix. The man allegedly sent a threatening message to the Shinjuku-based company through its website's inquiry form on July 23rd. According to police, the man demanded money back from a game hit in his message and threatened to repeat the fire at Kyoto Animation's first studio building on July 18th. The man reportedly admitted to the police that he was angry after losing a game and decided to send the message. Police noted that the game in question is a smartphone game that the suspect is registered for. Police also stated that a search of the man's house did not uncover gasoline or related materials. So obviously, some guy being a very, very rage-induced, but again, better to take precautions from the outside, notice, than not these days, especially when threatening something as obviously serious as that incident. But yeah, the rest of the article kind of goes through various incidents of similar nature, rage-inducing, rage-induced sort of threats of violence. But yeah, don't do that.
Dumbass.
Yeah, let's not. Obviously, there's a time and place for everything. I don't
Yeah,
think there's
I
ever a
mean,
time
fuck
and
it.
place for this sort of rage-induced thing. But obviously,
If you're gonna do it, just like send it in a text message like that.
yeah,
It can, with your own cell phone number that you pay for each month.
yeah. But yeah, again,
But which
obviously,
game is the
don't be
question?
like
Is
this
it
guy.
Dragon Quest? Is it Final Fantasy? Is it Grand? Is that Grand Blue under that?
It's FF14,
Square
dude.
Enix does not own Grand Blue.
Yeah,
Who owns Grand? Oh, right, Cygames.
Side
Side
games.
games. Anyways, don't be like that guy. Next piece of news here. So, as some of you might know, the famous slash prolific voice actor Yuki Kaji,
Who's that?
yeah, known most for his role in
As
Eren.
Kaji? What? No.
What?
As you said, Yuki Kaji. Isn't he the guy who plays Kaji in Kaji? Kaiji?
No. No?
No, no.
What? Then who's
Anyways,
Kaji?
can I keep going? As most known for his role in Eren, his breakout role in
Oh,
Eren in Shingeki no Kyojin or Attack on Titan, as well as some other main character roles, or a lot of main character roles, all the main character roles.
you mean
but
You mean the English equivalent of Bryce Papenbrook?
let's
Wait, did you
Bryce, say the English equivalent? You mean the Japanese equivalent?
The English equivalent would be Bryce Papenbrook, aka the guy who voices Eren, Kirito, freaking Shiro. Ugh. Also, Caesar Zeppeli in JoJo
Okay,
Part 2.
well, I think it's a little bit more prolific than that, but either way, Yuki Kaji and another very, very famous star-studded voice actress and Taketatsu have been engaged, and they have not
No.
married each other.
She's
No.
my wife.
Yeah, Yuki Kaji is my wife, okay?
No thanks. I'll take
No.
Junichi Suwabe. Is he
Did you know
married?
he's actually done a couple of roles in as like a schoolgirl and stuff like that. Not like roles, but like he's done like live shows where he's just like acted out like schoolgirl roles and shit. Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, anyways,
Why
they,
Ayane
you know,
Taketatsu?
they've engaged and promised. Yeah, they've been engaged, and obviously some things have popped up, right?
Well,
The two being
congratulations
who
to
they are.
them.
And so talent management agency VIMS announced on Saturday that it was prepared to take legal measures regarding rumors about voice actor Yuki Kaji. The agency stated that the rumors regarding Kaji's past relationships are quote-unquote baseless and defamatory, an invasion of his privacy, and a violation of his personal rights. The agency has tapped the Gladiator law firm to investigate the rumors and to take possible legal action. Obviously, again, all these rules, but
What's the rule?
what do you mean? What's the rule?
Isn't it like it's only acceptable for voice actors to get married if it's another voice actor? Something like that?
There is no rule like that.
I
Just-
don't
just
think
like-
that's a rule.
Just like how idols can only marry other idols.
Well, that's an interesting
Idols
point.
can't really
Yeah, that's
get married.
very accurate, but
But if two girl idols get married, are you going to be against that?
I still think that's still not something that the producers will look up
Yeah.
well upon. But
not gonna let them do that.
Yeah, but the point is that I think honestly at this point that the whole like law firm and like defamation, threatening the law and maybe lawsuits and maybe even going through with it, it's not like it's not really like overblowing it at this point because it's like um, I'm not sure if we had this discussion here or maybe it was outside of this podcast, but obviously there have been discussions going on for a while now that a lot of voice actors are no longer really voice actors so much as they are sort of idols, right? They are sort of idols in themselves, but their main thing is voice acting more or less, right? Like Yuki Kaji, his brand is not like the roles he does; it's him. It's being Yuki Kaji, right? So in that sense, because his reputation, because his own branding is everything. Obviously, he needs to protect it, right? And if these sorts of rumors need to come out, they need to be squashed. So I can definitely see his agency kind of backing him up and kind of squashing these rumors, right?
I mean, there's two aspects of the rumors, of where the rumors are coming from, too, right? Like, it's the people that are mad that Yuki Kaji is getting married, and then there's the people that are mad that,
and Taketatsu,
that she's getting married, right?
yeah.
So they
So both of those crowds want to kind of like ruin the lives,
Yeah.
But I mean, like, don't you think they would actually get along? Because it has to deal with human emotion, right? Where it's only acceptable if this person marries into this person. It's like, why would you be against that? Are you guys?
Toast, you realize these are like basically idol fans, where
they're like insane.
if their idol is interacting with another human being, they get furious. Let alone getting married.
That's weird.
To be fair, jealousy is a very powerful thing, but again, it's
Wow, I'm
it's
so jealous of this person that I've never met before.
it's girl. I mean,
it happens.
Again,
What do you mean you've never met before? Sings to you all the time. Personally,
exactly.
you.
I bought all your CDs. Why won't you talk to me?
Yeah,
I'm your biggest Twitch donator for this month.
but yeah, again, it's grown into this part of the culture, and Japan, the agencies and stuff like that have partly promoted that sort of culture. But again, that sort of discussion is really neither here.
Well, congratulations to them. I wish them the best. Unlike those other weirdos.
Yeah, but what I was trying to say was, again, the whole like suing thing. I think is by now it's part of the territory. Before I would say like, oh man, they're like really bringing out lawyers and stuff for this kind of like these kinds of rumors. But at this point, I think So if the branding is at stake, and for such a big name as Yukikaji, do it. Bring out the fucking lawyers.
I mean, the question is, what can they do though?
Yeah,
Like,
that's definitely a problem. Like they need to actually find like actual targets if they want to do anything. But
yeah, are they really gonna like start tracking down people on fucking
it's
forums?
gonna be like the Japanese.
No, technically, they only
anti-piracy
need
thing
to
all over
really
again.
keep it up with a couple, right? Just to scare off the rest.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's pretty easy to just send. Like, you can just send Twitter users like cease and desists really easily.
Also true, yeah.
But I don't think any like lawsuits are gonna come out of this.
Yeah. But obviously, I think they're obviously banding it around the media sources just to get attention to deter just by saying that they have a
Yeah,
lawyer.
it's
But they're also probably prepared to like if any names or any incident pop up, just like the moment that happens, just like it'll
Yeah.
send a nuke down. Like
I mean, this is mostly a flex, but I'm sure they're prepared to make a show of somebody. Make an example.
Yeah. But anyways,
Who
please,
would win in a fight? Your average anime fan or Yuki Kaji?
Probably
Well,
Yukikaji.
There you go. If you can't beat him in a duel, then don't even bother, you losers.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You have to get to Ayan Taketatsu. You have to fight off Yukikaji now.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yuki
No,
Kaji voices Soul Burner, so you can challenge him to a Yu-Gi-Oh duel. It's within fair game.
to marry Ayan Taketatsu, you have to have had more anime MC roles than Yukikaji. That's a bar now.
Like, who could beat him though? Jinichi
Nobody.
Suabe?
I don't think it. The Jujutsu Sabe even doesn't do that many like MC roles. He
But
does
he
like
does
villains
better
as well.
ones.
He does pretty good. ones, yeah.
Nobuyuki Hiyama.
Nah. But
You're saying the King of Braves couldn't beat Yuki Kaji? I think you're
I
you're
thought
wrong.
you were talking about number of zero. But anyways, next piece of news here: voice actor Ryotaro Okiayu posted on his Twitter account on Saturday that he has left the hospital after successful cholecystectomy, or surgical removal of the gallbladder. His surgery took place on August 7th. Okiayu added that he's still taking painkillers as of Saturday, so he is,
Removal? Damn.
yeah. So he is obviously a very prolific voice actor. He did Toriko and Toriko, Berserker and Fate Zero, Byakuya, Kuchiki and Bleach, Lesser Black, Fate Apocrypha, Hisashi Mitsui, and Slime Dog, so on and so forth. Like a lot of roles here. Kunimi's Tezuka and Prince of Tennis, so on and so forth. So please wish him the quickest of recoveries. And the last piece of person news is the official website for Shueisha's Reborn magazine announced on Monday that manga creator Konami Sonoda of Choco Mimi fame passed away on August 4th due to breast cancer. So she launched this in May 2003, but then it recently went on hiatus due to poor health, and now we have found out that she has passed away. So please do wish again her friends and family condolences. And with that, we are going to move on to shoutouts and callouts. So, everybody here gets one shoutout and one callout each. And a shoutout is one thing that you want to give 5 out of 5 stars on, something that you would definitely get Amazon Prime for, any one person, place, or thing. And the callout is the exact opposite, 0 out of 5. You want it gone from the face of this earth. You want to burn down like the Amazon forest recently, and it can be any person, place, or thing. And we will start with Dark.
All right. I give a shout out to the new game that released, Remnant from the Ashes. It's Dark Souls with guns. It's pretty fun.
Don't you mean Bloodborne?
No. Because Bloodborne had guns, but this is like a shooter with like cool, almost Path of Exile-esque like mod slots you put on your weapons that give you spells and shit. It's a lot of fun. It's got pretty satisfying melee as well. Some pretty cool bosses. Some of the bosses are kind of whack, because a lot of the fights rely on ads so that you can actually, get ammo back. But overall, it's definitely fun. It's got drop in, drop out co-op. Maybe one day, From Software will pull their heads out of their asses and realize that, people don't really give a fuck to use the I don't even remember now, like, the magic stones to maybe summon in their friend. So it's definitely been a lot more of a fun experience playing it with someone else. That's been cool. A lot of fun lore. And it was only $40. Kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I knew about the game and I was looking forward to it. But I kind of expected it to be like one of those games where I'm like, man, I'm really looking forward to it. It looks really cool. And then it would just be a fucking horrible piece of trash. But I was wrong. Or, well, I mean, I wasn't wrong. I was definitely surpassed my expectation. So,
Okay.
I'd highly recommend it if you like Souls games and third person shooters. It's
And your call?
very cool. She. My call out, I guess, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do this again. This is probably like my fucking 5th World of Warcraft call out in a row. But I can't remember what my other call out was going to be anymore.
Okay,
So
so keep going.
my call out's going to be to the people who think that Classic WoW should have, like, Blizzard shouldn't have shut down an add-on that was made recently for Classic WoW, where what it did was it was a Classic WoW group finder. Which Classic WoW didn't have a group finder save for, I want to say, meeting stones. And what those would do is if someone else clicked on the meeting stone or a meeting stone, you could like auto group with each other, but it didn't have anything like, oh, you're a healer, so you'll have 1 tank, 1 healer, 3 DPS. It was just like, oh, you clicked on the stone, you'll get put into a party. So, you could get like all DPS, all healers, all tanks, etc.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't work. No one used it.
Right.
So what this add-on did is it more or less recreated what they have in WoW now, where you can just post a group with a description in like a menu and then click on the group and join it. And you can put on auto accept, etc. You could see, and in this add-on, you could see their talent points. People were saying like, here's a main issue too. Down the line, you're going to be able to see a fake item level that people will make, etc. Like, you'll be able to see way too much. Where Classic WoW is so easy and it's so like just basic,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not the point. Like, you don't need to look at item level, because as long as you have items around that level and you're not like, and you actually know what you're doing, you will win. Like, it's not, and enemies have 2 mechanics. So, like, the point of Classic WoW is to just talk to people and group up and just like clear content and have a good time.
Right.
It's not about like this high octane stuff where you really need to know all of these things about a person's character.
Right.
And in order to know that about a person's character, you should be talking to each other to begin with. Because no one's going to be looking to fuck you over if you've just had a 5-minute conversation with them to group up with them for a dungeon. And that was basically the huge problem with the add-on, is that you could auto-invite people. And, you had people, what I'm really calling out is the people who are like, if you don't like the add-on, don't download it. It's like, that's not how that works, because even if your server has like 100,000 people and 1,000 people download the add-on, how quickly do you think that's going to spread?
Right.
Because you're going to have people who are able to just instantly queue for dungeons.
Right, exactly.
And it's like,
Everybody's
that's not, it's like, that's not good. Like, you don't want that in the game.
Right,
And you
exactly.
definitely don't, and people will have to use it. And it's one of those things where it's like, does that make it better? It's like, well, no. Just because I could queue for a dungeon faster doesn't mean that that's better, especially for something like classic WoW, where it has
Right,
one
exactly.
difficulty. It's like you're doing the dungeon. That's it. So you're in it for the long haul, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, there's always Battle for Azeroth,
Yeah.
Battle for Azeroth has some really great stuff in it. It has a group finder. It's a really good game. Everyone's playing it. Everyone's really looked forward to it. It's had no negatives to it. Not at all. But
Gee.
yeah, fuck those people. It's just a really dumb argument to begin with. It just crossed the line.
Yeah.
And even Blizzard said in previous statements, and in the statement when they blocked it. So actually, mini shout out to Blizzard for actually blocking the add-on.
Okay.
Because they announced
right,
that
that
we're
makes
gonna break
sense.
this
Yeah, yeah,
add-on.
yeah,
There's people are not going to be able to do this.
yeah, that makes
Because
kind of sense.
yeah, in their original press conference, they said we're gonna have to look at add-ons because we don't want it to just destroy what we're making here, because people can essentially. And
Right.
in their new comment, they said, it boils down to if we wanted an LFG menu in the fucking game,
Mhm.
we would have just taken the one from live, from retail.
Right.
We have a looking for group menu already in the game. Oh, if we wanted that in classic, we would have put it in.
Right.
So it was a
Okay.
good victory as well.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. Both my shoutouts and callouts are to real life stuff, although I would have liked to have a shout out to Amakano, or not Amakano, just winter visual novels in general. But my actual shout out is to unlike Dark over here, I am done with my diet, or have been done with the diet for about a week now, and got back to 11.5% ish body fat. And then to celebrate, I actually had one day where I just ate about, I want to say, 4,600 calories of Chick-fil-A Wingstop in one sitting. So that was something.
Nice.
Why
Never.
were you trying to do
What?
the Matt Stoney Chick-fil-A challenge?
That should take me an hour. I can't. It was hard, but
Dude, when I'm
um,
done with this diet, Domino's pan pizza.
nice. But yeah, that I'll never do again because I felt like garbage afterward. But it was definitely an experience I wanted to try. So that was nice.
Good.
But yeah, I'm off that. I'm off that now.
You should do it again. This time, time
It-
yourself.
God, so you know how it's people are just oh God, I feel like shit or blah blah, right? It's I legitimately didn't want to move my seat after I took the last bite of my last Chick-fil-A sandwich because then I was like, if I move, I feel like I'm just gonna barf right on the spot. But
Yeah, that's the
anyways,
best. That's the best cheat.
yeah,
Because then you don't want to do it for a month.
yeah, exactly.
My,
I don't wanna-
my favorite feeling is when you go to Cheesecake Factory and you eat one serving of a thing and then you're all like, oh, I don't feel good, but then you still have
Well,
room
that's
for.
because one serving is 500 calories.
Oh, it's like 3,000.
Yeah.
Chicken
Dude, I
parm was
want Buffalo Blast so bad.
but you still have to make room for 3 slices of cheesecake. So
3 slices, you psycho.
That's-
what do
What
That's
the
three
fuck,
many
dude?
slices. Too many.
I go to Cheesecake Factory. It's I can't eat one slice of cheesecake and that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Let me see.
too
That's
much.
That's already 7 million calories right there.
I get the chicken parm. I don't know. That's a bunch of calories, and then I get 3 slices of.
Oh, dude, you
The
gotta get
raspberry lemon cheesecake.
the barbecue bacon burger, the
Dude, isn't
smokehouse
nice.
smokehouse burger.
Isn't Cheesecake Factory's salad 700 calories or something?
Yeah.
It's the most
Probably.
insane shit I've heard in my life.
Dude, the cheeseburger I get from Cheesecake Factory is 1,400 calories. It's incredible.
You know what else is incredible? The
It's a
cheesecake.
bacon cheeseburger. Yeah,
It's
and one
so-
slice is also 1,200 calories, and I
So-
eat that
yeah.
shit anyway. It's
It's-
so good.
Yeah.
But I don't know how the fuck anyone eats that in one sit, like at Cheesecake Factory.
I do it.
A little bit.
'Cause
I eat the burger and I'm like, all right, give me the cheesecake to go. I'll eat it like 5 hours from now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's why you buy like three there and then 3 to go.
3 there and 3 to go? What the fuck, dude? Those
Cheesecake.
slices are
Oh,
huge.
they're not. They're tiny.
Wait, are you talking? Do you just get like the plain cheesecake at
No,
Cheesecake Factory?
I get the lemon raspberry cheesecake.
All right, that might still be like a small one. That's the size of the normal one, dude. When I go, I'm talking like the fucking red velvet cheesecake, where they give you
Ugh.
like
Oh,
9 pounds of cheesecake in one slice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that with
Or the
cheese.
s'mores one, or the fucking chocolate one.
Yeah.
You got me all fucked up. Make me talk about desserts, dude. I've only been doing keto for a week. All right.
did you know cheesecake is within
Fuck.
my top 3 favorite foods?
Just buy that like super expensive
Pretty good, too.
keto.
Actually, I
keto
think
chocolate chip cookie.
There's a keto chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, I'll show you afterwards. It's
That's
pretty fun.
that can't taste good, dude.
I feel like it'll taste like the driest
Yeah.
shittiest chocolate.
I may as well
cookie.
just eat like fucking cocoa powder or something. Like,
But yeah, I'll show you afterwards.
probably like fucking almond flour, like
yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, my call out is scheduled for the past year that has kind of put me on the grind. Again, I'll be out of it in a couple of days, but it was a very interesting schedule to be having for sure. But I did not. It was a little bit rough, but either way. But yeah, now that it's over, I can actually kind of wake up at the same time in the morning and just do stuff that's not just this like project related essentially. So that's nice. Anyways, that was my shout out and call out. Again, both real life stuff. What about you, Nier? Shout out and call out, please.
Haha. Figure I should probably not talk about Shadowverse this time.
I'll allow it.
So I'm going to do shout out Spider-Man Far From Home.
Ah,
I haven't
went
seen
to
it yet.
see
Don't give
that.
me spoilers. No spoilers.
I went to see that with my dad this week. It was pretty good.
Did you see the extra 4
actually-
minutes already?
No.
Oh.
I've heard what the extra 4 minutes are, and I don't even care to watch them. But yeah, it was really good. I can see why Germa said it's the best Spider-Man movie.
Even better than
Tobey
Spider-Man
Maguire,
2?
yo, Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire.
Even better than
I don't-
Spider-Man
I mean,
3?
I don't. Toast.
Look,
I don't know about
let's
that
be
one,
real.
Toast.
Let's be realistic here. The top 2 would have been one of the Tom Holland movies up against Spider-Verse. Like, come on. I like the Tobey
mean-
Maguire movies, dude, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Pizza time.
Pizza Time's kind of unbeatable. Like,
Or yo, Spider-Man stole that guy's pizzas. Or something
stole
like
that guy's pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and make a Spider-Man tier chart
Fearless, yeah.
just yet.
Keep going.
But Far From Home was very, 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 very good.
does the stealth suit get a decent amount of screen time?
Yeah, it gets a lot.
Is that the
Thank
black
God.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
Alright,
one's
good.
so fucking cool.
That's what he wears through
Does
majority
does
of the movie.
does the ghost of Robert Downey Jr. just hover over him?
Yes, it's called a hologram. He has one. I saw the movie poster.
There is no hologram of Robert Downey Jr.
Bro, I haven't seen Endgame yet. What the fuck?
But what about the movie poster?
Sorry.
He's
Bro,
It's
it's
a
the
spoiler.
it's the biggest movie of the fucking 21st century, dude.
Anyways, so that's a good shout out here. What about your call out?
I guess I'll keep it Spider-Man themed. Callouts to Sony, I guess.
why don't you mean Disney?
No. Why? Why would I call her
Because
Disney?
they mistreated Stan Lee, so says the daughter that mistreated Stan Lee.
Yeah, the daughter that fucking locked him in his room. Yeah. Anyway,
Disney's the one that wanted more money. Sony's like, I like my Spider-Man movies and my
Yeah,
Spider-Man
it's
games
almost
the way
like the
they are.
only reason why they were fucking making money on those movies was because Marvel was
Disney
involved.
Yeah.
Like
You
Disney.
realize the last Sony movies, Sony Spider-Man movies, were the ones with Andrew Garfield, right?
Yeah,
And
really
Spider-Man
profitable.
3.
Really great.
I like Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
Why?
you like it.
I like that. I like that. What's the guy's name?
You wouldn't like paying $18 to see it in
I
theaters.
would see it again.
I like Spider-Man 3, but it's a fucking awful. Like that's the only reason
What's
to like
that
Spider-Man
meme?
3.
What's that guy's name? It says so good when he's eating.
James Franco?
Yeah, I like that. I like that meme.
Yeah. I mean, James Franco is like the only good part of that movie, really.
But
that
don't you like emo
that
Spider?
dancing Peter
Yeah.
Parker.
Yeah.
I like
Spider-Man.
I'm glad it
sucks.
exists, but it's not good.
And Amazing Spider-Man movies are even worse. Like,
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is infinitely worse, in my opinion, than Spider-Man
then-
3. There was nothing redeeming about that film.
but yeah, call it to Sony. 'Cause if people don't know, Disney basically had a deal with Sony that was like, hey, bring Spider-Man into the MCU, and we'll like negotiate a deal of like the split of money. And Disney was asking for 50% off of the income for Spider-Man movies, and Sony was like, no, thank
Yeah.
you, not interested. They didn't try to work out a better deal or anything. They just said nope. They gave Disney the finger and said, we can handle Spider-Man on our own.
Yeah.
And fuck them. Sony movies aren't really very good, to be honest.
Dude. Venom, though.
Yeah, Venom sucked.
It had
was-
Eminem in it.
It was funny. It was funny as hell. It was a very funny movie.
Yo,
it was a very fun movie.
But that
But
scene where they kiss in the forest and then he ate the lobster, dude.
You know why Venom is a fun movie? Because of Tom Hardy. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is
Pretty
the
much.
only reason that movie is fun
Pretty
to
much.
watch.
But
Like,
here, who would win
That
in a
movie
fight?
is like not good. It has a terrible villain. It has a terrible structure. It has a terrible story. Like, it sucks, but it's fun to watch because Tom Hardy like loves that role. And then other people are like, yeah, Sony can make good Spider-Man movies. Just look at Into the Spider-Verse, which is a movie that was directed by two people that fucking hate Sony and hate working with Sony.
I saw you reminded yo, what if for Venom, like,
You think they have hard feelings after being fucking forced to animate the Emoji Movie? What do you mean?
Yeah.
I saw how, how we were talking about, it being, funny and like actually sort of, the interactions being okay because of fucking
Yeah.
But who would win in a fight?
Hardy, right?
Tom Holland or Venom?
Specifically Venom versus the actor Tom Holland.
Yeah. Or
Tom
Spider-Man.
Holland.
Probably Venom.
I think he could do it. I think Tom Holland
Dude,
could
he
pull
worked
it
out
off.
for the role. He worked out for the role.
Yeah, I saw him bench. I saw him fucking
He benched
Benches-
Hannibal
bench a
Buress.
couch. Yeah, he benched a couch and Hannibal Buress at the same time. I think he could stand a chance against.
I saw him bench
Pretty
his
strong.
his old kid Spider-Man shirt, dude. I'm sure he can do it. But Nier was talking about Tom Hardy kind of picking up and carrying Venom on his back, right? I was suddenly thinking, I want to see a Venom movie, but it's Adam Sandler just like doing
God.
Dude, Adam Sandler deepfake
Adam Sandler.
for the entirety of Venom.
Adam Sandler with the voice of the symbiote being Rob Schneider. I gotcha.
Oh God, dude.
I understand that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a movie where Rob Schneider voices Venom and fucking Adam Sandler's in the symbiote. Oh man,
And then
I'm also imagining fucking
and then
Rob
the
Schneider
symbiote-
like peeling back his face and it's just Adam Sandler under.
Nice.
it's, it's like the symbiote eyes are like the old like Sonic the Hedgehog live action eyes and shit like that.
Oh,
Like
God.
Jesus Christ.
so yeah, just saying, Sony, if you want to go,
Sony's got this.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
they're great.
They got it.
Anyways, Toast.
Huh?
Shout out to Callouts, please.
I don't know.
Okay.
If you shout out
I
Cheesecake Factory cheesecake.
I didn't have any, so I can't shout it out. Ice cream, I guess. Maybe.
Just the existence of ice cream.
You know what? No. Let's see. I'm going to shout out the year 2011 and 2015.
Okay.
Oh, do we need to go back into this? All right.
No.
Not really.
No,
But-
no.
2011 is the beginning of the first generation of anime. Modern anime.
Wait,
The
What-
first
the
generation?
first generation of modern
2015
anime. you
is the
say.
second generation. and
What the fuck?
Oh, all right. Oh, do I need to
Oh,
explain
yeah,
it?
I
All
think
right.
no, I remember.
No.
I remember.
2011
I remember this, but I still don't understand.
2011 is when Fate Zero came out.
How does that determine that it's
'Cause
modern? It's not like anyone else
modern
came out of the
people have watched
woodworks and was like, "Hey guys, listen,
Sword
UFO
Art,
table, we're gonna match them."
Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan. I'd say 2007, but that's like Karno Kyokai.
Yeah, but like
And
none of that is
Mo-
related
most-
to each
most-
other.
Most Fate fans don't even know what Karno Kyokai is, except for, hey, I saw that collab once in Grand Order, and that really upsets me. No one remembers Tsukihime, so I can't even say that anymore. 2015, Unlimited Blade Works. 2020, could you say 2019 is the start of Isekai or no? 2020.
No, I mean,
No.
Isekai has been going strong since like fucking
Yeah.
2017, bro.
yeah. I mean, and that's just talking
When
about
was
the
was
anime,
Knights
too.
and Magic? 2018?
Yeah, I think so.
Also,
Yeah, probably.
long
But
after
that's-
the start of Isekai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was Shield Hero? Was that
Gotta
20...
remember,
no,
Isekai
Shield
was
Hero
like
was 2019,
really like
wasn't it?
starting up anime wise. I think when like fucking Gate started coming out.
Yeah,
and
but it
that was like 4 years ago.
It wasn't mainstream until
It
Shield
was pretty
Hero.
mainstream.
It was pretty mainstream.
It was
And-
pretty mainstream.
I mean, and this is even just talking about the anime, stuff, right? Not even talking about web novels, so on. Yeah.
if I'm remembering correctly, there's definitely at least multiple fucking isekais that were coming out in the same season as Gate 1. At the very least, Gate
Yeah,
season
but
2.
were they good?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't really matter.
The good isekais started only in the start of 2019. It's called Shield Hero. Goblin Slayer doesn't count. It's 2018.
Goblin Slayer's not an
Goblin Slayer's
isekai.
not an
Exactly.
isekai.
Goblin Slayer.
That's why I said it doesn't count.
It's
I just
a
said it doesn't
fantasy
count.
show.
I know. I don't even know what to say to
Spe-
this right now.
Speaking of isekai, you guys know that there's 3 subgenres, right?
Shut up.
Hey,
Why?
Dark, we brought it up, right?
What's your call out? What's your call out?
You're gonna have to fucking DM me that later.
What's your call out here?
I don't know. Like, when I usually do shoutouts and callouts, it depends on my mood, and I'm pretty good right now, so
Why don't you call out
So
not
that's
having
all?
Cheesecake Factory cheesecake?
no, I'm good. I don't need it right
What's that
now.
all about?
Alright,
I
well,
guess
then-
I guess I'll call out weeds. I don't like pulling out weeds, and there's a bunch of weeds, especially the ones with the big roots. You gotta take out the entire thing or it'll grow back, and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I actually know that feeling. I pulled weeds like 2 weeks ago, and now the entire fucking flower bed is full of them anyway.
Yeah.
So I need to spray Roundup and not get cancer. So that's gonna be a real good challenge.
Then,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. And with that, we are done with our shoutouts and callouts. Again, thank you everybody for watching here and for listening out there, for all listeners out there listening on our Twitch VOD as well as on our YouTube. And speaking of that, you can follow us again as per usual on twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast, where we post every other Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We record our podcast about Japanese animation, anime, manga, light novels, visual novels, web novels, and all other forms of animation media. So we talk about it this year. We'll post our photos on Twitch and on YouTube. We'll keep you updated on our social media, such as Twitter and Facebook handle at 4PPAnimecast, as well as Facebook by Animecast. That's all with the number 4 here. And as for our schedule in the upcoming weeks, our next episode will be, I believe, the last of our summer review. So part 5 will be our last for our summer 2019 anime lineup, and for our I want to say the episode after that, it will be our previews here for the fall 2019 season. So watch out for that. But yeah, that'll be our schedule here, and it'll end up pretty nicely, I think, because I believe our fall preview will land on the same time when everybody else, when all the other series are doing the episode 12s, right? So we should be pretty much ending right. We should pretty much be lining right up on there, unless there's some huge hiatus that I also don't know about, which is likely because I fucked up last time too. But anyways, with that being said, we'll see you next time.